listeners receive, live, and share the simple truth of Jesus Christ and His Catholic Church. Now Jim is beginning a new chapter in that same mission, entering law school to continue the pro-life battle as an attorney. We thank Jim for his many years of service, and we ask you to join in praying for him as he carries the truth into a new era. Thank you, Jim, and may God bless you.
Hello, this is Father Jim Netto of the Diocese of Portland, Maine. In Krakow, Poland on the 2nd of June, 1938, the Lord Jesus himself directed a young Polish Sister of Mercy on a 3-day retreat. Sister Faustina painstakingly recorded Christ's instructions in her diary, that is, a mystical manual on prayer and divine mercy. These instructions became Faustina's weapon in fighting the good fight. Jesus began, "My daughter, I want to teach you about spiritual warfare." Secret number 3, do not bargain with any temptation. Lock yourself immediately into my sacred heart. This secret reminds us that in the Garden of Eden, Eve bargained with the devil and lost. We have recourse to the refuge of the Sacred Heart. In running to Christ, we turn our backs on the demonic. Recall also that when the devil came to tempt both Eve in the garden and our Lord in the wilderness, he took advantage of their being alone. That is one of his strategies. So we need to stick together to avoid his attacks. Be not troubled, however, no matter the great the temptation that assails you. Let the enemy rage at the door, for we are sure he cannot enter but by the door of our consent. Let us keep the door closed and see that it is properly fastened. Then there is nothing to fear. Finally, be assured that all the temptations of hell cannot sully a soul which is displeased with them. Let them do their best then. The Apostle St. Paul suffered terrible ones, and God, out of love for him, would not remove those temptations. So come, have courage. Let your heart belong to Jesus. Preserve me, O God, for in you I take refuge.
This is Joe McLean, and you're listening to the Station of the Cross, proclaiming the fullness of the truth with clarity and charity.
Heard around the world on your Android and Apple mobile devices.
Go into the world and tell every man that you meet, there is a man on the cross.
A Catholic Take. What you need to know right now. A bold synthesis of inspiration and information. Keeping you up to date on the news and issues from a courageous Catholic perspective.
A Catholic Take with Joe McLean starts now.
Praise be to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to A Catholic Take, a bold synthesis of information and inspiration. I'm your host, Joe McLean. Praise be to God. It is good to be on with you in this last episode, this last morning show of A Catholic Take. Today is it. We've reached the end. Monday, we start a brand new chapter. In fact, I guess for the last 10 years, I've been doing morning radio. So it's bittersweet. I mean, I'm going to get to sleep in till 4:30 in the morning or something like that now. It's going to be great. And I'm leaving you in good hands with Rise Right starting on Monday morning. But today is it, the last of all the shows for the morning drive time for ACT. And we will begin our afternoon slot, 4 p.m. Eastern, all across the Station of the Cross Catholic Media Network on Monday. So hopefully you can join us. And if you can't, God love you for being on the team. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to miss having you here. But you can always listen to the podcast, and you can always catch the video on YouTube, Rumble, and other places. So make sure to be on the email list for all of the news and information going on with the show and updates and the Bible studies and everything else. You just got to go to the stationofthecross.com/ACT. You can smash that email, sign up, get the podcast, watch the live stream, and so much more at thestationofthecross.com/ACT. But before you go today, before we sign off for the morning drive, we need to talk about some things. The Doctor in Chief, the Grand Inquisitor for the Vatican, Cardinal Fernandez, is warning us all about bloggers. I don't know who's blogging anymore, but I think what he means to say is people online with strong opinions. We're going to be talking about what he has to say with Anthony Stine at 14 past the hour. But there was a great article over at Catholic Unscripted about the competency problems that is demonstrable by Fernandez, Cardinal Roach, and others at the Vatican. It's kind of a crisis in competency at the Vatican. We'll get Dr. Stine to weigh in on that at 14 past the hour. But this week saw the first ever female in the office of the Archbishop of Canterbury. It was cosplay before this. Now it's cosplay on steroids. It's basically a gay rave going on in the Anglican Communion. And there are lots of people that are absolutely unhappy in the Anglican Communion. How can we possibly be one with what is going on there at this point? We've asked from Catholic Unscripted, Katherine Bennett to be on the team, and she'll join us at 30 past the hour and be the last ever morning show ACT version guest on the program. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to leave the show notes up at the top of the hour. Plus, we'll go into the after show and get your opinion on anything and everything. Of course, your opinion is always a great part of the fun conversation that happens in the after show. All of that can be found at thestationofthecross.com/ACT. Let's get after it. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And now your saint of the day.
Queen Saint Bathilda, pray for us. Bathilda was born in England around the year 626, possibly of royal Anglo-Saxon heritage. As a young girl, she was sold into slavery in France to Erkenwald, the mayor of the palace, an office like that of prime minister under King Clovis II of the Franks. Erkenwald eventually desired to marry the wise and virtuous Bathilda, but she fled until Erkenwald married another woman. Not long after she returned, King Clovis himself fell for Bathilda. He freed her, and they wed in the year of our Lord 649, after which Bathilda used her new position to care for the poor and support the church. After less than a decade of marriage, Clovis died, leaving Bathilda as queen regent, since none of their 3 sons were old enough to rule. Despite struggling against the ambitions of the new mayor of the palace, Bathilda outlawed Christian slavery, almost eliminated simony, restored old monasteries, and supported saintly bishops. When her eldest son came of age, Bathilda gratefully retired to a monastery, living the rest of her life in humility and mortifications under the abbess St. Bertilla. The old Roman martyrology mentions her on January 26th, but in France, her feast has always been today, the anniversary of her holy death in the year of our Lord 680. For more about this day and others in the Church's calendar, visit thestationofthecross.com/saints-and-seasons, or follow saints_seasons on X. Queen Saint Bathilda, pray for us.
And now your headline news. Ground News reports Trump plans to name Kevin Warsh the next Fed chair. President Donald Trump is expected to announce his intent to nominate Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve chair after finalizing his pick last night, with the White House preparations underway. Warsh's view on interest rates suggests a shift, as he has recently argued publicly for lower rates, aligning with President Donald Trump's criticism of Jerome Powell. The Pillar reports Benedictine sisters rescind active sponsorship of Benedictine College. The Sisters of Mount St. Scholastica, who co-founded the Benedictine College more than 50 years ago, said in a statement that they had discerned a call to focus on their growing ministries and care for their aging community, and will discontinue active sponsorship and governing responsibilities with the college. Recent years have seen an emergence of some tensions between the sisters and the college, most notably after the 2024 commencement address by NFL kicker Harrison Butker. And Catholic Vote reports HHS ends vague Biden-era guidance on abortion drugs. The health department yesterday rescinded a 2023 guidance from the Biden administration on stocking abortion pills in pharmacies, calling the guidance vague and ambiguous and arguing it may have violated pharmacists' freedom of conscience. And those are your headline news. The gospel today comes to us from Mark chapter 4, verses 26 through 34. At that time, Jesus said to the multitudes, "So is the kingdom of God, as if a man should cast seed into the earth, and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring and grow up, whilst he knoweth not. For the earth of itself bringeth forth fruit, first the blade, then the ear, afterwards the full corn in the ear. And when the fruit is brought forth, immediately he putteth in the sickle, because the harvest is come." And he said, "To what shall we liken the kingdom of God? Or to what parable shall we compare it? It is a grain of mustard seed, which, when it is sown in the earth, is less than all the seeds that are in the earth. And when it is sown, it groweth up and becometh greater than all herbs, and shooteth out great branches, so that the birds of the air may dwell under the shadow thereof." And when many such parables he spoke to them the word, according as they were able to hear. And without parable he did not speak unto them, but apart he explained all things to his disciples. The Gospel of the Lord. Laus tibi Christi. To the crowds he spoke in parables, a cryptic message, a mystery of sorts. To the disciples he gave them the clues to interpret all, to understand with clarity. What's the bottom line? If you want the clarity, if you want the interpretation, where must you go to get it? You got to go to the disciples. By design. Christ has only one church, one ecclesia, one body, one baptism, one bread. It is always just the one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. That is by design. Cornelius a Lapide would say this is another parable, different from that of the sower, which precedes it. Both, however, are taken from the seed, but differently applied and explained. Moreover, by the seed, as St. Chrysostom and Bede rightly explain, both here and in St. Matthew chapter 13, is signified evangelical doctrine. By the field, hearers. By the harvest, the end of the world, or each one's death is meant. The meaning is, he goes on to say, as the husbandman who has sowed is sleeping idly in the night and is employed in various occupations during the day and thinks not about the seed is germinating by its own innate force and is growing up whilst the husbandman knoweth it not. So also it puts forth the blade, then the ear, and then the full corn in the ear. So too in the same manner is the doctrine and preaching of the gospel. They were sown by Christ and his apostles. That is, they were preached from small beginnings. But by degrees they grew insensibly into the mature and mighty harvest of the faithful, whilst Christ was, as it were, sleeping in heaven and permitting the Jews and unbelieving nations and tyrants to rise up against his apostles and persecute and kill them. It increases, I say, and propagates itself gradually until it fills the world. When the harvest being ripe, the corn, the elect shall be gathered into the granary of heaven. By this parable then is signified the power of the gospel, which by degrees has pervaded the whole world and is converting it to Christ. Tacitly also it is signified that preachers of the gospel must not glory in their preaching as though they by it were converting the world. Humility, but effectiveness. Humility, but effectiveness. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Tired of your phone bill supporting who knows what? iCatholic Mobile is a 5G provider that supports what matters to you. With iCatholic Mobile, every call, text, and even that group chat you can't escape helps support the Station of the Cross. It's a network that connects you to what's good for both your soul and your wallet. More information is available at iCatholicMobile.com. iCatholic Mobile underwrites with the Station of the Cross.
Hear what our listeners are saying about the regularly updated iCatholic Radio mobile app.
iCatholic Radio is the most truthful and important site that any of us could ever listen to today. We get the truth. We get good people telling us what is going on in the world. Thank you so much. It's a gift from God.
Download the free iCatholic Radio mobile app today on your Android or Apple mobile device.
A prayer to the Sacred Heart that St. Gertrude the Great wrote. I salute thee, O Sacred Heart of Jesus, living and vivifying source of eternal life, infinite treasure of the divinity, ardent furnace of divine love. Thou art the place of my repose and my refuge. Enkindle in my heart the fire of that ardent love with which thine own is inflamed. Pour into my heart the great graces of which thine is the source, and grant that my heart may be so closely united to thine, that thy will may be mine, and that my will may be eternally conformed to thine, since I desire that henceforth thy holy will may be the rule of all my desires and all my actions. Amen.
Be to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to A Catholic Take, a bold synthesis of information and inspiration. I'm your host, Joe McClain. Praise be to God. It is good to be on with you. Hey, coming up at 14 past the hour, we're going to have a conversation about Sarah Mullally, who pretends to be a bishop and even pretends further to be the Archbishop of Canterbury. Are we really one with this already? I mean, it's kind of just awkward because it's cosplay gone wild in the Anglican Communion. And many in the Anglican Communion aren't happy about that at all. We're going to be talking about the implications of this with Katherine Bennett from Catholic Unscripted at 30 past the hour. Do join us for that if you can. But speaking of gone wild, there is an interesting turn of events this week as the head doctrine chief, the Grand Inquisitor for the Holy Catholic Church, Cardinal Fernandez, has really come out swinging against online opinions. I mean, he used the words blog. I mean, that's like, I don't know, 10 years old at least. Does anybody blog anymore? We're asking the question with Dr. Anthony Stine from Return to Tradition. We're going to link to that and his Substack in the top of the hour show notes. Dr. Stine, good morning to you. Welcome to the very last ever ACT Morning Show. Thanks for being on.
Good morning. There was also some breaking news involving Cardinal Fernandez and Pope Leo last night.
Really?
Yesterday, the Holy Father asked Cardinal Fernandez to draft documents for the future for the church dealing with the crises the world faces today. Pretty vague. Didn't have a chance to look too deeply into it, but the quick takeaway was it looks like Cardinal Fernandez is going to be around for a while.
Yes. No indicator that he's going into retirement. I mean, how fun
and the other one was Pope Leo also praised last night Cardinal Fernandez's document on Marian titles.
No, he did not.
So, yes, he did.
So there you go.
That should be included in this discussion, just as context.
Thanks for adding more logs to the fire already. Did you happen to catch? By the way, the great article over Catholic Unscripted? The headline says Roche, Fernandez, and the Collapse of Competence at the Heart of the Church by Mark Lambert, who was on our show earlier this week. Great article. I'm linking to it in the show notes today. But Mark is pointing out that Cardinal Fernandez in particular, he is not a very talented theologian.
He is, well, I will definitely agree with you because I like my theologians to be unimpeachably, unquestioningly Catholic, where there will not be questions raised about their, doctrinal fidelity. People may debate their takes on things and such, but Fernandez is a very controversial figure, but he is almost treated like the Joseph Ratzinger of that sort of side of the internal church great divide. That is how he's treated. All you have to do is look at the defenses that some of the modernist public figures give of him. We saw this last month, I think it was, when cardinals and bishops were suddenly speaking out in defense of Cardinal Fernandez, questioning why people would question anything he says, how he is one of the great minds of our time. So, and remember, it looks like he's sticking around.
Yeah.
Which on the one hand means that we will be, we'll be busy talking about
we'll have lots to
he
talk
says.
About. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We'll have a lot of content to talk about in the coming years.
Nice to just do shows endlessly about how you can prepare for Lent and how, politics and why, Catholics don't really fit too well in either political party, and have debates with people that are friendly and based in the faith about how, you can support politician X, Y, or Z as a Catholic. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be, but we'll be too busy talking about Cardinal Fernandez for a while. I want to talk specifically about, now I'm linking to the National Catholic Reporter. It's a rag. I don't recommend it. Probably harmful to your soul. So if you have to go to I'm going to put it in the show notes because I'm talking about it, but I just wanted to warn you about that. Cardinal Fernandez here.
Medal. Make sure to have a miraculous medal on when you go to
holy water. I mean, and then delete it from your history as soon as you're done. Right. Yeah, that kind of thing. But nonetheless, he's basically warning the dicastery about online opinions. I love that he used blogs. I mean, it's a 10-year-old term that nobody uses anymore, which is kind of hilarious to me. But nonetheless, he's warning us about people like me and you.
Who was the person who said this, though? Was this a National Catholic Reporter article or something they reprinted from overseas? Because
I think this was reported by Justin McClellan at the NCR.
And is he the one warning them, or is this a figure in the church warning them?
He's their Vatican correspondent. And this is what he's saying here. He's saying the Vatican's doctor in chief warned that blogs and online commentators increasingly claim a theological authority they do not possess, narrowing the church's ability to holistically engage the faith and reality. Now, I saw the video of Fernandez saying this at that meeting they had with the dicastery this week at the Vatican and the Pope Paul VI, the whole. So it was Fernandez who said this. He says, quote, "But the issue is even more serious since today on any blog, anyone, even without having studied much theology, can express his or her opinion and condemn others as if speaking ex cathedra or with infallibility," he said. Fernandez framed the problem as a failure to recognize the limits of human knowledge. He goes on, quote, "The more science and technology advance, the more we must keep alive the awareness of our limits and our need for God, so as not to fall into a terrible deception. Indeed, the very same one that led to excess of the Inquisition, the world's wars, the Shoah, and the massacres in Gaza, all of which rely on fallacious arguments for their justification." I think that's interesting. So is he condemning the Inquisition? I mean, what is he, a Protestant?
Yes,
what are we dealing with here?
He is doing that, and when I reported on that story myself, it did seem like he was going after pretty much everybody, but there is a context also to Europe. And there is a blog it kind of came into the discussion during the interregnum, especially I think it was the day before Pope Leo was announced as having been elected Pope, and that was that an Info Vaticana writer, a journalist from Info Vaticana, was in Rome the days before, right? It had the first day voting had started, and he reported in his article writing about this, he had encountered Austin Ivere and James Martin sitting there giggling like schoolgirls as if they were in on some big secret.
Yeah.
As if they knew how it was going to come out. And then when he identified himself as a writer for Info Vaticana, they clammed up and got very hostile to him. That blog and a couple others in Europe are very well known in Rome. Another one would be Marco Tossati's blog at Stilium Curae. And I suspect they're talking about blogs here, because those blogs, those writers have inside sources in the Roman Curia. Right. It was Marco Tossati who broke the Vigano letter 2018. He was the one who published it at first. These outlets in Europe have had massive impact on the life of the universal church. And so I think he did mean blogs. Now, you can include, YouTube and Spotify and all these other things under that rubric too, because it equally applies to the rest of us. Because his whole point is we don't know what we're talking about when we critique these things, as if Catholic theology is, for the typical Catholic, fairly easy to grasp. You don't need to delve into the finer details of metaphysics and things for most people. If you're capable of going further, sure. But those Vatican documents rarely touch on the deeper issues, right? So when you look at the Marian titles controversy, the co-redemptrix and mediatrix, the document basically said that previous popes were wrong to use these terms because they were too complicated for people to grasp. Instead of saying, basically it's a catechesis problem, so don't do it. Instead of it's a catechesis problem, let's catechize better, right? Let's actually teach people what the faith means, which is the first job of most of these people, is to defend the faith and propagate the faith, and you do so by teaching it, among other things. But we are not equipped to do it, and it's right in his critique of blogs and things. I mean, Marco Tossati has priests and bishops who will write articles for him, and they're always scathing about the state of Rome and have been for years. That's just one example. And then you have laymen who clearly have read a few books in their time on these things and can point out that things that Fernandez says don't line up with what the church teaches historically, or if they do, is a very slipshod manner that leads to all sorts of ambiguity.
I mean,
that's kind of where
the depth. You want the depth and richness of Fernandez, I would say I'd recommend Heal Me With Your Mouth, one of his finest works that he's ever written. Heal me with your mouth.
16-year-old, or is that a different book?
Yeah, I've forgotten. Okay, so it's that bad. It's just that bad. Yeah. And again, I just take exception with the whole lumping the Inquisition into this hot list of things that he has issues with. You're not on the team if you don't support the Inquisition. It is a myth and misconception by Protestants who hate the Catholic Church, who want to destroy Holy Mother Church by tarnishing the reputation of the Inquisition. Same thing with the Crusades. They levy all of these claims that it's like batting practice. You don't even just go to Catholic Answers YouTube channel. They've answered the question 14 billion times over the past 30 years. I guarantee you'll find all the fodder you need to answer your crazy uncle and his accusations, or even maybe your crazy uncle Cardinal Fernandez at the Doctor in Chief's office. It's bizarre to me the world that we're living in, and we have to even have the conversation.
No, it is, but again, we are seeing a lot of almost revolutionary currents in the church at this moment. The synodality, the language of the cardinals leading the synod on synodality, talking about a new synodal church. Their phrase, not something some rad trad online came up with, but actually the language they used was as if they were, to borrow a line from that song you may have heard, that cringe-inducing song you may have heard at some of your particularly abusive masses, let's sing a new church, right? That's the kind of stuff that they talk about openly. So
I don't want to sing a new church. I just want the one Christ gave us. That's all I want. I don't need labels.
I just want the one hymn. Give me that old time religion.
Hey, before I run out of time here in about a minute from now, Austin Ivory's not happy with Leo. What happened?
Well, apparently the blessing of the lambs, one of the things you can say positively about Pope Leo, if you're not his biggest fan, is that he has brought back a lot of kind of more traditional practices that Francis kind of did away with, that kind of ruffled some feathers, including the blessing of lambs that had to do with giving what was the is it the pallium for bishops and this was involved, their wool would be shorn their wool, and these lambs' blessed wool would then be used to make the palliums. Harmless. I don't know how you could be against it. Well, Austin Ivory found a way, saying it's violated Laudato Si to do that because these animals are somehow harmed or something. Even though, have you ever seen what happens to sheep if you don't shear their wool?
It's not good for them. You got to take care of them. You have to shear them.
they enjoy it. So again,
they can get infections too, by the way. Father Larry Richards of old-time EWTN fame, he used to tell a great story of something like that, where if you don't shear the lamb, bad things can happen. But I got to tell you, lamb is super tasty, Austin Ivory. I don't know what your problem is. I mean, shear the wool and fry it up because it is super tasty. Hey, Dr. Anthony Stine, Return to Tradition. We're going to link to his Substack in the show notes at the top of the hour on his YouTube channel. But hopefully he'll be back for the after show where we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about in the after show. It is a conversation that goes kind of crazy and wild, but it's always a lot of fun. And today is the last ever morning show for ACT. Join us at thestationofthecross.com/ACT. Coming up in just 2 minutes, Katherine Bennett, Catholic Unscripted. Let's talk about the cosplay in England. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Catholic radio has just been a lifesaver for me. I still listen to it every day. I start my day with it. I listen to it all day long as much as I can. I am very grateful for it.
It's just an amazing thing to have, as I am new to Catholicism. Obviously, it's not only helping me, but it's helping so many other people on their walk.
Thank you. God bless you for iCatholic Radio. It has changed my life.
Donate today at thestationofthecross.com.
Here's the question for your non-Catholic friend. Understanding Melchizedek, Malachi, and Mass seem quite mysterious to most, even including Bible students. How about you? Well, here's your 3 best friendship tools for Catholic evangelism. Number 1, Melchizedek. He's the very first priest in biblical history. Though he's a prefigurement of Jesus' priesthood, Melchizedek was a person. To Abraham, he presented bread and wine, which are the biblical elements of a sacrifice, and now presented at a Catholic Mass. Secondly, Malachi. He follows up some 3,000 years later and says, "In every place incense shall be offered to my name in a pure offering." It is understood that the pure offering would be the sacrificial body and blood of Christ that is confected on every Catholic altar. Prophetically, this would replace and fulfill the ineffective temple sacrifices. And thirdly, my pesky comeback. That pure and holy sacrifice is not grape juice and a wafer at a non-Catholic communion service. Also, those elements are not Jesus' body, and they surely aren't Jesus' blood. However, I am glad to say that some grape juice and a wafer is a really nice summertime refreshment. Find me online at Smarty Pants Catholic Evangelism.
The Adoration Sodality of the Poor Clares of Perpetual Adoration at the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament in Hanceville, Alabama, is a prayer group for laity, priests, and religious brothers and sisters to spiritually join in the nuns' mission of adoring our Lord Jesus Christ in the Holy Eucharist. Members commit themselves to an hour of Eucharistic adoration on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis at a monstrance or tabernacle at the parish of their choice. Learn more about becoming a member at iadorethee.com.
Be to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to A Catholic Take, a bold synthesis of information and inspiration. I'm your host, Joe McLean, and here are your headline news. Catholic Vote reports Republicans and Dems agree to separate DHS funding and avoid a shutdown. Republicans and Democrats reached a deal last night to vote on a separate bill funding the Department of Homeland Security for 2 weeks, allowing other funding bills to be voted through. The deal will avoid a government shutdown while allowing debate over making DHS funding contingent on a number of proposed reforms. Politico reports Trump's acting cyber chief uploaded sensitive files into a public version of ChatGPT. The interim head of the country's cyber defense agency uploaded sensitive contracting documents into a public version of ChatGPT last summer, triggering multiple automated security warnings that are meant to stop the theft or unintentional disclosure of government material from federal networks. Senior officials at DHS subsequently led an internal review to assess if there had been any harm to the government security from these exposures. It's not clear what they've concluded. And Ground News reports the IDF accepts Gaza death toll of about 71,000 Palestinians. The Israeli Defense Forces reported roughly 70,000 people killed in Gaza during the war and told Israeli media that Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry's overall toll is broadly accurate. The military estimated approximately 25,000 of the dead were Hamas terrorists. So essentially, they killed less than half of all the people they killed were terrorists. It goes on. While Israeli officials warn the total does not separate civilians from armed groups, and requires scrutiny. Humanitarian operations delivered 112,000 aid trucks carrying about 1.7 million tons of food into Gaza, while media reports say at least 450 Palestinians died from malnutrition. And those are your headline news. Praise be to God in all things. Sarah Mullally, or however you say her name, used to be a nurse, and now she's pretending to be a bishop and even the Archbishop of Canterbury. It's kind of comical, and I guess it's a serious issue, and I shouldn't make too much fun of it, but it's hard not to. It seems rather bizarre to level-headed thinkers. But in fact, here's a moment of irony this week as they were going through the ritual of making her the Archbishop, the first ever female, as a Catholic outlet says, in somewhat of a glee here. First woman to lead the Church of England in its 1400-year history, confirmed in ceremony. In the ceremony, there's a point where, since nobody has ever complained or contended the claim for her to be Archbishop, it's okay to proceed. However, someone did. Have a listen.
That no person has appeared in opposition to the confirmation.
Kind of awkward. Man starts yelling out his opposition. Rather than hear his claims, what do? They simply escort him out of the building, and they continue on. And she is now, what's going to happen when she shows up at the Vatican with her mitre, her crozier, and her pectoral cross? Is she going to be accepted? Is she going to be seen in a photo op next to the Pope? I'm curious how that's going to happen. We've invited from Catholic Unscripted, Katherine Bennett, to be on the team to give us her opinion. Katherine, good morning to you. Thank you for being on the last ever ACT Morning Show.
Oh, wow. What, brought to you by PETA, the animal welfare charity. Today you're mentioning lambs. The other day it was frogs. I'm thinking you might have a sponsorship. Yeah, we like food. Yeah.
We like food. Whether they're gay frogs or lambs, we don't care. We eat them all.
We don't care.
We don't discriminate.
It was, you're so good. It was a bit empty looking there, wasn't it, Joe, at St. Paul?
Yes. This is how, I guess, from an outsider's perspective, from an American perspective, I'm just curious. All of England, what do they think of this?
Well, having consulted them all, I can confirm that we think that we pay no attention. In fact, what's amusing is you asked me if I'd come on, and I had to ask you, give me an update, what she's done now. It's so irrelevant. And what's interesting is, in fact, her being a woman is perhaps the least interesting thing about this, because to complain that she's a woman implies that somehow Carey, Runcie, Welby and Rowan Williams, might as well have been Robin Williams, were legitimate archbishops. We haven't had a legitimate Archbishop at Canterbury since 1558 with Pole. So, yeah, she's a woman. That's not great. But then the rest are playing dress up anyway. So it's problematic. Perhaps more problematic are her views as a Christian woman or man, doesn't matter, that is supportive of abortion, of the right to abortion, supportive of same-sex blessings and pushing in the LGBT direction. I think these are really concerning. The fact that she's a woman is just so lost interest.
Right. So the English in general, where are they at on the scale of being religious? How do they go to church? Like, what's the percentages? Can you give me help me understand where English are? Do they pray? Do they go to church, or are they basically atheists?
Yeah, I mean, it's increasingly secular culture, and but the interesting statistics are the absolute decimation and decline in Anglicanism. So the Church of England is falling apart. The churches are empty, and there is a rise in Catholicism, in particular amongst young people in the more orthodox and traditional wings, if you want to call it that, of the Catholic Church. So I think that shows you where the fruits are. And this elevation of this woman nurse to the seat at Canterbury is just going to further alienate many still clinging to Christianity in its Protestant form, and encourage them to cross the Tiber, which they are doing. This is great. This is great for the true church, because people are starting to see how empty and vacuous and hollow the whole Protestant, movement, the Church of England, is. So yeah, it's a good
the
thing.
Crown and King Charles, does he? I mean, I know he's not like a faithful Catholic or anything of that sort, but has he had any opinion on this one way or the other?
Well, there's all kinds of whispers about the Crown. People saying he's secretly become a Muslim. Others saying he's interested in Orthodoxy, Greek Orthodoxy. We don't, and of course he's got a film coming out on Amazon Prime, that great champion of the environment with their massive waste production and everything else, about the environment and about Mother Nature. So that's been his most known preoccupation for the last 50 years or so. But we don't know. The truth is, we really don't know. It's a bit ambiguous. He is, of course, defender of the faith, but he very ambiguously spoke about being defender of faiths. And that's where people criticised him, because, of course, they're saying, well, are you the defender of the Christian faith, or are you just saying you're defender of all faiths in Britain? And, of course, Islam is massively increasing in the UK.
Yeah. So just was a week ago, Vespers, on the commemoration of the conversion of St. Paul at St. Paul's outside the wall in Rome, His Holiness Pope Leo, along with members of the Orthodox Communion sects and then some Protestant sects as well, I want to say Anglicans in addition, were present for an ecumenical prayer service for the Vespers. And in his address, His Holiness Pope Leo said, "We are already one." Basically, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it at the top of my head, but we are one, we're already one, let's just act like it. It was something along those lines. But when I contemplate what's going on here in England with Sarah Mullally, I don't know how we could even begin to say we are one. There's such a divide between the truth of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church and what we're seeing on display here with the Anglican Communion. It feels like we're not even close to being one. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a kind of madness, isn't it? This idea of standing shoulder to shoulder and saying we're one, because since Vatican II, there's been this sort of ecumenical emphasis on unity and looking at what unites us and not what divides us, which in principle you can say is a lovely thing to do. But there comes a point where you bump up against truth and you have to acknowledge those differences that are significant, especially when they're differences that actually make the difference between your eternal salvation or your eternal damnation. We can't stand shoulder to shoulder and say these things don't matter. So these prayers of unity, if everyone just leaves as committed or more so to their own position as they arrived, what's the purpose? Because what progress has been made in the last 6 decades? What do you see? Well, I see, a decline. I see people being more entrenched. I see more division. This is the fruit.
But contrast, I think, has a silver lining. Under Francis's pontificate, there seemed to be a grave contrast between Orthodox and heterodox, and I think that helps us see where the battle lines are and gives us clarity in intention. So, in this case, for instance, what I see here is a woman pretending to be a bishop in a church that pretends to be valid. And clearly what they're doing is embracing all of, as you mentioned before, all these heterodox ideas of abortion, LGBTQ, rainbow ideology, all of it. They want it all. Well, so does the German Synod. So does the German synodality. They want this too. So many of the bishops there, something I talked about with Father Gerald Murray yesterday, they want this same stuff. Many in the church over the last 6 decades have pushed for this. It seems to me that rather than make the world Catholic, there are many in the church, these wolves in sheep's clothing, who want the Catholic Church to be just like the world. Do you think that's fair?
No, not at all. What has happened? What's ever happened to anathema? What's happened to heresy? It's disagreement. We've even avoided using the words that we should be using about this sort of thing. I was just reflecting, for some reason, it must have been something we were writing about or discussing on the Pachamama of 2019 in the Vatican Gardens with the Italian bishops saying a prayer to a pagan goddess in the Vatican. It's fair enough. You can criticize King Charles and his loopy ideas, and you can criticize David Attenborough and that mad gorilla talking woman, Jane Goodall. You can say, aren't they all a bit mad because they don't have the fullness of truth and they're so lopsided? But in the Vatican, to see this, do we really think this is going to draw Protestants who are already struggling with Our Lady to see Catholics worshipping pagan idols? It's not. It's going to send them fleeing. So the things that we're doing that we think this is going to help us to bring people into the church, that's not happening. Well, as we assimilate with the world, we become more like the world and we offer nothing. What do we have to offer that you can't already get anywhere else?
Sarah Mullally said she wants to listen because her predecessor lost his job because of the sex abuse crisis under his watch or what have you. And she's going to listen to the victim. She's going to listen to everybody. She didn't listen to the guy raising concerns and objections at the ceremony the other day. She didn't listen to him. She waited for them to quietly escort him out of the building, and so they can just continue. It's comical. It's so comical to me. But again, I think back about what is Leo going to do? I don't envy Pope Leo at all. The challenges, the difficulties, danger on every side. I have to imagine he's probably feeling it right now. What would you say to Pope Leo? I want to set this question up because we're almost right at a break right now. We can take it up on the other side of the break. But Pope Leo, if you could advise him, what to do about the English question, what to do about Sarah Mullally when she shows up at the Vatican like her predecessor did, and they gave him honor, they gave him respect, they treated him well. They allowed him with the dignity of his cassock and his pectoral cross, but even he didn't have he's not validly consecrated a bishop, and they still treated him as though. How much worse is the optics of a female pretending to be a bishop at the Vatican? What would you say to Leo? How does he manage this difficult situation? What can we do to win England back, in the patrimony of Holy Mother Church, where, as I was saying on your podcast the other day, the seed of Christendom begins in England in 306 AD. It's important to win this back for the glory of God, for the salvation of souls, and for Our Lady. More on that in 2 minutes.
Hi, this is David Fortin from Through the Fire. Please join Deacon Don Prendergast and me as we discuss the tools men need to build a domestic church and the spiritual weapons to defend it. It's an hour of traditional masculine spiritual direction that the woman in your life will appreciate too. Right here, every Sunday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern on listener-supported The Station of the Cross Catholic Media Network, thestationofthecross.com, and worldwide on the iCatholic Radio app.
The Station of the Cross began broadcasting in Buffalo, New York in 1999. Since then, our listening areas have multiplied and expanded into several states. While our mission is to grow the Catholic faith through radio and other media outlets, our apostolate is supportive of but independent from your local diocese. Through your generosity, we are able to inspire countless listeners with the gospel and help lead them to a parish to be spiritually nourished by the sacraments.
At the Station of the Cross, we understand that life circumstances can affect your giving options, whether by moving or by switching banks and credit card numbers. Please let us know if recent changes have been made to your payment information so that we can better serve you as you continue to bless us with your financial support. Update your information today at thestationofthecross.com or by calling 1-877-888-6279, extension 104.
Catholic radio has just been a lifesaver for me. I still listen to it every day. I start my day with it. I listen to it all day long as much as I can. I am very grateful for it.
It's just an amazing thing to have as I am new to Catholicism. Obviously, it's not only helping me, but it's helping so many other people on their walk.
Thank you. God bless you for iCatholic Radio. It has changed my life.
Donate today at thestationofthecross.com.
Praise be to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to A Catholic Take, a bold synthesis of information and inspiration. I'm your host, Joe McClain. Praise be to God. It is good to be on with you in this last ever ACT morning show. This is it. We've come to the end. Starting on Monday, we will go into the afternoon drive time. So it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern all across the Station of the Cross Catholic Media Network. Same show, different time, just afternoon drive times. It'll be a different chapter in my life. I've been doing morning radio for 10 years, basically. So this is going to be a new chapter for me and for you. And I can't wait to be there with you at 4 p.m. Eastern across the Station of the Cross. You can find all the information at thestationofthecross.com/ACT. But we're having a conversation about the implications of Sarah Mullally claiming to be a bishop, claiming to be the Archbishop of Canterbury, and what all that means. And joining us to talk about that again is Katherine Bennett from CatholicUnscripted.com. We'll link to it in the show notes. Great article on Roche Fernandez and the collapse of competence, by the way, at the heart of the church. Fantastic article. I encourage you to read that one. Katherine, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being on. So if you could bend the ear of His Holiness Pope Leo, give him some advice, how to win back the lost jewel in the crown that is England for our church, what would you say to him?
Well, first of all, you said she stated that she's going to listen a lot, but then didn't listen to the man objecting at her inauguration. Well, she'll fit right in with the synodal listening church that wants to listen to everyone except those who are saying things they don't want to hear. So she's a good fit for the church today. However, if I were to be so bold as to give Pope Leo any advice, it would be to say, come, by all means, come and talk. But give up your position, go and honour your beautiful feminine vocation in nursing and your beautiful, wonderful vocation in motherhood, assuming she has children, I don't know, and leave a different person transformed by truth. This is what we see time and again in Scripture. We see the Magi who come to Christ and then leave by a different route. We see the woman caught in adultery. We see Zacchaeus. We see Matthew. We always see the same pattern, which is you come, you encounter the real Christ, and you are never the same again. You leave by a different path. So I would say, by all means, come to the Vatican. All are welcome. But dialogue doesn't mean anything if you're not changed by that dialogue. Yeah. And the problem is that, ecumenism is sort of presented as a kind of, we all discuss, we all talk, we're all one, when true ecumenism is to call people back into unity under Rome as the church that Christ established. It's not about a partisan, sectarian, I win, you lose. Truth wins. Doesn't matter, it's not me or you, it's truth. Truth wins. And the problem in Anglicanism in England is that there's a sort of aping of the real church. You don't get this so much in the low Protestant denominations, but in high Anglicanism, you get this aping where they love to be cloaked in the aesthetics of Rome. They love to be cloaked and to be approved of. And when you draw people in like Sarah Mullally and Rowan Williams and George Carey and Robert Runce and all the other Archbishops of Canterbury since 1558, and you give them a platform, you give them a space side by side and give the impression that you and us are already one, all it does is gives them the authority to remain in error. And they say, we've got what we want. We've got the appearance of Rome without any of the cost that's required. So, I would say, wonderful to talk, wonderful to dialogue, but what is it if it doesn't take you anywhere?
Right. It's my sense that Leo is sincere in desiring unity, calling for unity. I love the fact that he gave the blessing at the end and didn't do what Francis did and have everybody do the blessing. I thought that was a smart move. But my concern for Leo is not that he's not sincere. My concern for him is that he will be suckered into a bad PR moment. You know what I mean? Like someone's going to sneak this lady in and have him take a picture side by side with her little purple cassock there. And I just think it's a bad PR moment. Something we've talked about. I talked to earlier this week with your colleague, Mark Lambert, about the Mahoney. I don't have a problem with the Pope meeting anybody. I wouldn't have a problem with him meeting Sarah Mullally. But I would hope he would do what you just said he should do, and that's try to convince her for a true conversion. But I think it's not good when the Pope allows certain bad PR moments to go without the proper context. Something Mark said was, it would have been nice if after the meeting with Mahoney, a statement was issued to give clarity to why they met and what they discussed. I think that would be nice. Instead, they just sort of leave it hanging out there, and knuckleheads like me speculate on it, and we don't really know. But it just doesn't look good. I'm afraid for that. Would you be opposed for him? I mean, I think he should meet with her, but I don't want to see him meet with her in a way that allows any vagueness, ambiguity in what they were talking about, right?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. There's nothing wrong with meeting. And sometimes people say, oh, you can't say this because Jesus would be with the prostitutes and the transvestites. And there's no denying that he would, of course, be with those most vulnerable of patients who need the hospital of the church. Francis got that right, let's be honest. But we live in an age, unmistakably, we cannot deny that we live in an age of, sound bites and media images and messages getting out. So if we live in that age where maybe Pope Leo is well-intentioned, but he is being manipulated by those around him, and a message is being manipulated by those who want to push in a certain direction, all the more reason to come out with clear statements. Like you say, meet with the people, but then make it clear what the position is. Don't allow the message to have legs of its own and to run. You just got to be a bit savvy. And, it's a shame to say that, but that is the world we're living in. And so that's why it's more important than ever for the Pope to surround himself with good people. And yet we're seeing at the moment the elevation of some, well, one can say rogues, to the extent that they seem to challenge constant church teaching in some of the key positions. So I think the first good step would be to see him replace some of those figures like Tucho Fernandez at the DDF and elsewhere with really strong, good, solid, confident, courageous and orthodox voices in the church. Then I think that would go some way to helping the image not be manipulated and his own pontificate to become clearer.
Yeah. Something we talked about with Dr. Stine earlier in the hour. It doesn't look like Fernandez is going to get replaced. It looks like he's here for the long term. He probably will complete his 5 years, and then I guess who knows who we're going to get. But I know Mueller met with Pope Leo just the other day. Doubtful he'll get his job back. Who would you want to see sitting in the Doctor in Chief's office? I would say Athanasius Schneider would be my top pick.
Yeah, I think Schneider would be a good pick. I think it's a bit difficult if you're Pope watching, if you're Vatican watching, is you see a little bit of this sort of ping pong. The Pope will say something, and that address he made to the diplomatic corps, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, really good, solid teaching on life from conception to natural death, right, on the dignity of the human person. And then, you go, yeah, and then 2 minutes later, there's some strange appointment or odd statement or ambiguous teaching, and you go, oh, boo. And then all the trads are going, yes, he loves the ancient liturgy, and then he'll do something where he says, actually, no, and oh, boo. And it does feel a little bit like a roller coaster. Right. And perhaps that's just because we are still very early on in Pope Leo's pontificate. And so, if you look at Francis, it took him years to get out Seurat and other figures that we would prefer were back in. But it may be we just have to wait and see. But I don't know. It's so hard to know what's going on.
I mean, I don't think it can be stated enough that under the Francis pontificate, incredible talent, incredible theological competencies in Sarah, Mueller, and others got sidelined. They were sidelined in the Francis pontificate, and they remain sidelined even today in the Leo pontificate. While Fernandez, with his Kiss Me With Your Mouth book or Heal Me With Your Mouth, whatever the title was, is the guy in charge of the doctrine of the church. I just can't get with it. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with it. But Katherine Bennett, really grateful for your time today. Last ever guest on the ACT Morning Show. Praise be to God. You should get like a ribbon or some sort of certificate. It's important. Check her out on CatholicUnscripted.com. We're going to put a link to it. I'll see you Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we're going into the after show now. So what did you think of today's show? Let's discuss that right now in the after show. Your take on the after take. Comment, interact live with me and the team. All you need to do is search for one of our live video feeds on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, LinkedIn, and elsewhere. Simply search for the Station of the Cross, Joe McClain, or A Catholic Take. I'm looking forward to seeing you and interacting with you directly. It all starts right now. It's the after show.
And we're back. Welcome to the after show, everyone. Katherine Bennett had to run, but we are back with Dr. Anthony Stine and, of course, Joe.
And, wow. And, of course,
you know, the host. I guess we have to have him on.
Still here.
For the last
I tried to get rid of him, but couldn't do it. Sorry. Well, there's always Monday. You can try harder on Monday, Jake, to get rid of me in the morning. How about that?
Hey, there's nothing that can stop me from staying late at work and bugging James while he runs your show. So
that's true. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. You could still harass our listeners in the chat boxes.
Exactly.
It's just nothing to say that can end.
Can't get rid of me that easily. I'm like a,
that's right.
I don't know what to
that's right. Hey, James, 16897. Good morning to you, Jane, Paul. Good morning to you, Paul, our friend from Buffalo. Damon from the sunny tundra of North Texas. How many feet of snow do you have up there? I bet it's still cold up there. Sci-Fi, good morning from sunny Rochester. Praise be to God. Pope Leo should install a Catholic Archbishop of Canterbury and see what... Is there a Catholic Archbishop of Canterbury? I feel silly for not knowing the answer to this already.
Is not the current head of the Catholic Church in... Whoops, sorry, Dr. Stein. There you go. Now your mic's on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the current head of the Catholic Church in England is the Archbishop of Westminster,
Roach.
Right?
Isn't it Roach?
Yes, that's correct.
Archbishop of Westminster, yeah.
No. I don't think it's Westminster because once you take a post in the Roman Curia, you kind of lose your episcopal seat, don't you? At least a prefecture.
Yeah, the current isn't he supposed to be getting replaced, or no? He just got replaced. The Archbishop of Westminster.
So it's Westminster either way, not Canterbury.
There's a new one. It's he's like people are saying he's an uninspiring choice, but
Richard Moth.
Yeah,
it's Richard Moth, who's sort of a mixed bag. Like,
well, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's all the gay frogs in England that's causing the problem. They're eating them too much.
They're putting chemicals in the haggis to turn the Scots gay.
It's the big haggis ink that's destroying the world right now. Kevin Welfel, good morning to you. Thanks for being on the team. Anglican ceremonial objection reminds me of back in 2007 when the Iranian president said there were no gays in Iran as they were hanging from off the buildings. Ouch, dang.
Well, there's apparently like a U.S. carrier fleet now sitting.
I know.
Like, yeah.
Right off the coast. So, yeah.
Right
I was trying to look for an update on that story this morning, actually. Because I saw some stuff on X, and I don't know what to believe on X anymore. It's hard to tell. But, there are reports that Vladimir Putin is even like getting out of the way and not getting involved to like allow the American-Israeli contingent to do whatever they want to do in Iran or something like that. I don't know.
It could very well be that Vladimir Putin doesn't actually like the mullahs that much. That it was just sort of a circumstantial alliance, and that maybe he thinks he can get in better with the prince there. Yeah. That maybe it looks better for Russia to not be allied with the top tier religious extremists on the planet. I mean, it could very well be that. And I'm not saying this to defend Putin. I'm just saying this is just. If you're wargaming this out or you're doing game theory on this, I don't see a downside to letting the mullahs go. It sort of will be like, would Putin back down and would China back down if a regime was forcibly installed by the Americans that was actually palatable to the Chinese? Would they let the Americans deal with the bloodshed as long as it didn't spill over to their border? As long as the regime was palatable to them, or maybe a unified Korea was done in a way that was palatable to the Chinese, because again, the regimes there are going to go down in history as some of the worst of our period. They're going to go. Who can you name in history that's been worse than the Kim family, aside from Adolf Hitler? Who can you name? It's a very,
Bibi
very
Netanyahu. Can I take Bibi Netanyahu for 200, Alex? Sorry. Was that out loud? I got to work on that. Hey, Cervello 86855. Sorry you're going to miss the last after show of the ACT morning show. Yeah. Sorry to have missed you. Enjoy your work day. Praise be to God. I'm glad you're going to be productive today. Most people aren't. So you are better than most human beings today. So congratulations to you. We'll see you on Monday at 4:00. PLS Truth, good morning to you. John Paul Sandoval, we have the recipes. Janice, you are amazing, Janice. Thank you. You're moving? Where are you moving to? Oblate, good morning. Could you please answer a question, or maybe Anthony knows. What question do you want us to answer, Oblate? I'd be happy to try. Oblate. Well, I'm backing up. Can I tune in if I'm at work? Yeah, you can tune in. You can always, there's lots of ways to listen or be a part of the show. YouTube, obviously, Rumble, Facebook. Our website is another great place just to go. If you go to the station of thecross.com, you have a blue listen live button at the top. If you go to the station of thecross.com/ACT, you not only get the blue live button at the top, but you also can scroll down and watch the live video player embedded on that site and links underneath it. Plus, there's the iCatholic Radio mobile app, iOS and Android, so you can download it on your phone and you can listen live that way as well. So there's lots of ways to do it. And I hope you will. Hey, let's go, Lou. Good morning to you. 2 degrees in Massachusetts. 2 degrees. Well, I guess that's an argument for why Massachusetts shouldn't be your on your top list of places to live. Besides the fact that their politics are so horrible there. And their taxes are even worse. But it is, I mean, there's some beautiful parts of Massachusetts. I can't lie. And some beautiful people. My wife's family's from there. But nonetheless, Massachusetts, 2 degrees, not surprised. Kevlar Catholic, Joe's spicy take in the last after show. What? I'm not being spicy. Am I being spicy? Listen, just because Vladimir Putin is sick and tired of the most tyrannical religious regime on earth and wants to and get rid of that one so that he can get into bed with an even more tyrannical religious regime on earth in Israel does not mean I'm being spicy. Okay? Just pointing out facts. That's all I'm doing. Just pointing out facts. KMM's 1979. Thank you for your well wish. I appreciate it. Godspeed to you, it says. Brock from P-Town is back. Good morning to you. No Jimmy Deans today. Because it's Friday. But hold on. The USCCB says all I have to do is think for half a second about some sort of penitential thing, and I'm good to go to have steak today. Don't quote me on that one. Just go with it.
You can skip the Jimmy Dean, but have some Jim Beam.
Isn't that an extract from? Isn't it like protein from animal meat? Pretty sure that is.
It's.
I'm just saying. Don't waste the opportunity for penance on Fridays. In fact, you want to maximize it, just go to Long John Silver's.
Ouch! Dang.
It's like before Arby's got his game to get back. Got its game back together. That's what Long John Silver's is now. It's like
I would love going to Long John's.
Mystery fish.
Man,
hush puppies made out of week old pancake batter.
Right. It was great. The hush puppies alone were worth the price of admission.
And everybody suspects that Long John Silver's locations are just a front for some criminal operation because you rarely see cars there.
It does look kind of shady.
See,
but when I was a kid, it was fun to go to.
I thought Long John Silver was just the stash of coins I keep in my underwear drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very personal, but all right, I suppose. A little too much information.
Keep silver coins in a pair of Long Johns. Ergo, they are Long John Silvers.
Long John Silver.
I got where you're going with that. -6 in Western PA. Got you beat there, Honey West, with your -5 in upstate New York.
Yep.
I'm going to say, though, it's never as cold anywhere you are as it where I am right now. Arguably the coldest temperature on the planet in Spring, Texas. It's a solid 36 degrees today. Feels like 27, and that's the rub. It feels like 27 right now. I mean, it's going to get up to, it's only going to be in the mid-50s today? It is practically winter.
That's pretty warm compared to where I'm at. We're expecting to go back down. We just hit like mid-40s up here, and but we got a cold snap coming in. I was wondering if you guys were getting a cold snap too. Like our high
we were
today
like
is
near
36
70
degrees.
yesterday. It was like almost 70
It is
degrees
presently.
yesterday.
It is presently 22 degrees. The temperature is going to go down and then go back up. And yeah, we're going to hit 36 today if we're lucky, before dropping down to 9 degrees tomorrow morning.
9. Yikes.
Yeah.
You're dropping down to 0 degrees in Germany?
Because it's 9 Celsius. You trying to do a conversion there? 9.
No degrees.
Hey, Junior Barra, good morning to you. Isabel will be able to listen to you at work in the afternoon. I won't be able to at the funeral home. I'm sorry, June. We're going to miss you, buddy. I wish it wasn't the case, but I'm happy to still have Isabel on the team. God love you guys from far West Texas. It gets chilly out in West Texas, that's for sure. Nicole, good morning to you. Brenda, good morning. Don Paddock, Angelique, and our friend Patty from the hill country of beautiful Texas. Praise be to God. James, good morning. Honey West Guaguenza is here. Good morning. I hope you can catch in the afternoon as well. Would love to have you on the team. Land Pine, D. Maria, good morning to you. Sci-fi again. Silent Fire, you are amazing. So says Joe, it's been an honor, a privilege, and a great blessing to have you on at my job in the morning. You're one of the people who helped me to return to Catholicism. That is very kind of you to say. Glory be to God. All glory be to God. Glad to have you on the team, though, Silent Fire. Thank you so much. The Catholic Chiropractor, it's going to be tough for me to listen in the afternoon, too. So here's the thing. If your job is preventing you from listening to my show, perhaps we should consider quitting the jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's have a little priority here, okay? With Trump in office, I'm pretty sure interest rates are going to go down and mortgages are going to be free and student loans are all going to be paid off anyway. So let's just quit the jobs and just tune in.
We're going to get our universal based income. You sit on the couch and listen to ACT all day. That's great.
Based. I like your emphasis on based.
Universal based income.
Universal based. Here's let's get some solid financial advice here. Which is better? Investing in gold and silver, as Jake likes to put his silver in his underwear.
Yeah.
Or investing in index funds. Which would you prefer, Dr. Stine?
Well, if I believed without hesitation that modern civilization would persist generally as it has been my whole life, I'd probably do the index funds. But I occasionally buy old Vatican coins that are made out of absolute silver and then just sort of sock them away somewhere just in case. Because
where do you buy Vatican silver coins? Where do you buy those?
You can find them on eBay and things. People, they'll list them as what they are. You can test them yourself. They don't cost you much and they're made of silver. I'm not saying it's like, a great investment strategy, but you got to think outside the box if you're going to try to buy some coins. If you're trying to buy precious metals, because gold is pretty expensive right now.
Gold is very expensive.
And, people
huge
before all the social media guys started showing up, all the YouTubers and TikTokers who go to Goodwill and stores like that and were showing people how to find treasures at Goodwill before they started ruining it for everybody. Yeah, sure. You could use to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Silver has gone nuts.
It's
lately.
gone up.
I bought it back when there was a dip. I got finally roped into it a few months ago by my uncle and a couple other friends who are silver and coin obsessed. And so far it's paid off. My small investment has paid off quite nicely.
Praise God.
I mean,
it's good.
It's not natural investment. It's actual solid. It's silver. It's real silver.
So you actually bought the material, not futures.
Yes,
because a lot of people think that you're going to get you watch your favorite political podcaster on the right, and what happens? They inevitably pitch you gold.
Yeah.
And what is it? You're not usually buying gold. You're buying gold futures.
Yeah.
Which is no different than really buying stocks or something. It's the same kind of thing. But
you're better off buying Dr. Amp's gold spray painted shovel.
I keep my
metal detector.
I keep my gold treasure right here with me all the time. Right there.
There we go.
All in this little bottle.
Is that gold leaf?
Buddy, that's real gold, pal. That's from Alaska.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
That's probably just gold leaf, but whatever. I got it at Walmart in Anchorage. Anchorage, actually.
Oh, cool.
Let me.
It's actually kind of neat. You were able to buy that at a Walmart because it's in Alaska.
That's right. The gold rush.
By the way, my friend had, just to briefly return to this, because my friend had never had Long John Silver's, and then he had it recently.
Really?
A couple weeks ago, and he said, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. It's for a Friday, penance.
It's so junk
it's actually
food,
fine.
It's total junk food.
It's junk food.
It's terrible. It's horrible.
It's probably all
for you.
pollock. Maybe it's
you'd probably be better off just having the steak. And
You're way better off here in Buffalo, where every single restaurant has a fish fry special on Fridays, and it's an entire haddock or cod fillet beer batter. With 14 different sides. It's the best.
Oh, stop it.
Right.
You're going to be hungry too early.
If you're going to want to eat pollock, then you may as well just go get like California rolls on
exactly.
Friday.
Just
because it'll taste good at least.
Crab with a K. Yeah, exactly.
Rebecca says, I'm investing in gold leaf. It's all I can afford. Amen. Amen, Rebecca. Or no, that was Kevlar Catholic. Forgive me, that wasn't Rebecca. I think it was Kevlar Catholic.
Now, if you're really paranoid, the other thing you can invest in is ammunition. Because that's
that's what I invest in. I invest in ammo personally. I love ammo. Okay, here, let me throw another log on the fire. Gregory's investing in Cheetos. A fine choice, Gregory. A fine choice. However,
keep the bag sealed; they'll last forever.
What about investing in crypto?
There, on the one hand, I wish that I'd listened when somebody back in 2006 told me to go spend the $1 to buy 5 Bitcoins, and then just wrote down in a secure location all the login information to the wallet.
Right. Yeah.
On the other hand,
you would own a much larger studio today if that were true.
Right. Like, because if I could have bought 10 or 20 coins at the time when everybody laughed at it,
could you imagine?
I could just disappear. I just walk away from life and go live, on a piece of farmland somewhere, just keeping to myself and all the rest of it. And
I think the Vatican supplies you with a bishop at that point. If you're that wealthy, the Vatican sends you a bishop to live on your.
I don't even know what the current price of Bitcoin is, but if it's like $80,000 a coin, and you have 20 of them, I mean, it's like $1.6 million. It's not like the hugest sum ever.
It's life changing,
but it is enough to. It's enough to generally.
You could live in Vietnam like a king for the rest of your life, no problem.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Can't live in any country you'd want to live in, though.
No, Vietnam is quite nice. Everybody loves Vietnam these days. Clearly, they're the winner of the war.
They're not living in a communist party, even if it's a fairly liberal one. So I wouldn't go live in Canada either.
Okay, fine. Costa Rica. You can live in Costa Rica for the rest of your days quite comfortably. How about that? Is it better?
Yeah.
Costa Rica? Maybe. I don't know. Let's Go Loose says, nope, it's back up. But if the grid goes down or hacked, you lose it. What, crypto?
Mm-hmm. How do you access your coins if you don't have the means of the main means of accessing them?
Yeah, that's why I bought
wallet information.
Yeah,
but okay, hold on. If the power goes off, I have a generator. I've got solar generators.
We're not talking like
if the grid goes down.
We're talking grid down. We're talking the Russians the Chinese take the let's preserve the real estate and most of the and more human lives option for a war with America, which is a high altitude series of nuclear devices that are set off that just shatters the infrastructure. Power goes down, and most Americans who make it to the other side afterwards survived famine and war in the streets over the canned food at the grocery store. Okay, that option, right? That's what we're talking about. Because if something like that were to happen, you would have what? How long would it be before the internet was restored? Assuming the U.S. military could then repel the inevitable Chinese attempt at an invasion, which would still be a very bad idea because there would then be literally more guns than people in America and enough ammunition to go around.
Yeah,
but still.
Well,
how long are you talking? How long do you want to hold a crypto coin that might not cryptocurrency that might be worth absolutely nothing in that new world?
Smart person would get bullets made of silver.
Mm-hmm.
The casing's made of silver, so that you have both the material and you have ammo all in one. You see,
you can repel a werewolf invasion.
Exactly.
Right, 100%.
Does silver work against vampires as well?
Let's find out.
Because Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter The only two good scenes in that were when his axe, when his silver axe could also function as a shotgun, and when he wrapped a silver watch chain around his fist and punched it through a vampire's chest. Those are the only
that movie.
The only two good
documentary
scenes in that documentary film. The rest of it was
only
terrible.
two good scenes.
A much better vampire movie is the first Blade movie. And in Blade, Silver hurts vampires. And he
there you go.
literally was machine gunning down vampires with silver bullets.
Hey, Eileen. Eileen says, I'm losing my current remote job in September due to the ending of the grant that pays my salary. Unless I can find another remote job to replace it, I may have to take a full-time in-person job at the university and be on campus 3 days a week. Fortunately, if I have to work until 5, it's definitely an environment where I can listen to ACT at my desk. And if I get off at 4, I can have it for the drive home, which will be great because the commute really stinks. Well, Eileen, I'm sorry to hear about your job, but I'm grateful that you'll still probably be a part of the team. That's awesome. Praise be to God. I got to tell a joke before I forget it. My son told me this joke yesterday. I thought it was hilarious. What do you call a lady? What do you call a woman in heaven? What do you call a woman in heaven?
A saint.
Dr. Stine.
A saint.
A sweet angel. You call a woman in heaven a sweet angel. What do you call?
That seems theologically troubling.
Just go with it. Just go with it. Stop it. Just go with it. You call a woman in heaven.
Did she get her wings?
Stop. What do you call a lot of women in heaven?
A flock of seagulls? Do they have I don't know.
A host of angels. A host of angels.
Okay.
What do you call every woman ever in heaven?
No idea.
Peace on earth.
Coming soon to an afternoon near you.
He's got to prepare his spicy but still family-friendly jokes.
Yeah,
because it's the afternoon drive, and you got to have that.
He's 2 hours after Dr. Ray, so.
When our son told us, I just laughed. I couldn't help it. I thought that was great. Peace on earth. Yeah. Finally, peace on earth. Because the first time he said an angel, I'm like, they're not angels. He's like, go with it, Dad. Just stop it. Just listen.
Go with it, Dad.
Linda Ann Wheeler, good morning to you. Says we could get energy out of the air, but big energy won't let us. Yeah, that was like the Tesla thing, right? Like Tesla put these two giant magnetized plates in opposition and forces them closer to each other, which creates electricity in the air, right? But we don't like that opportunity. We don't like that. There's not enough big haggis interest in that
stuff out of here. Someone's got to profit off of everything.
Someone's got to make some money.
It's why we put up with property taxes the way they are, where you have to you'll end up buying your house 5 times over the course of your life if you stay there for 40 years from the state. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Mary Martin, thank you for being on the team today. It says you're going to be listening on Monday. Glad to hear it. Praise be to God. Praise be to God. I'm glad you laughed there, Janice. I hope I didn't upset too many ladies for that one. It was kind of hilarious, though. Studebaker Hauk is back. Good morning, Studebaker. The last show has taken on a decidedly doomsday turn. That joke may have saved it. That's funny. What doomsday? We weren't talking doomsday. We were talking investments. Silver and gold.
Let's double down on doomsday.
Was it
Jake's? Friday? I tried during the ice storm. I tried smoking a brisket. I bought a brisket. Started it Friday night. Came out, and my smoker had decided that it needed some deep cleaning right then and there in the middle of a snowstorm, and so now thankfully the temperature was low enough outside that it didn't really matter. So I was able to salvage the meat by cutting it up, putting it in a crock pot. But when you're expecting smoked brisket and you get stewed beef, that's not the same thing.
Oof. That's rough. That is not dang. Sorry to hear it.
Yeah. $80 down the toilet.
That's rough. Oh man, that would hurt actually thinking about that. Hey, Truth, Life, and Fishing. Good morning to you. Good night, Joe. It's past midnight. May God guide you to the truth. See you at the end, mate. Well, I'm sorry. Monday, we're going to be too early in the morning for you, brother. God love you. Thanks for being on the team. Thanks for being a part of the journey. Hopefully we'll see you on the podcast. Douglas, good morning to you. Check out the band, the Steven Seagalis. Do you Shook Me All Night Long? Doing You Shook Me? No, that was, I watched Steven Seagalis a few times back in the day. They did the AC/DC song, right? Thunderstruck. That's the one that caught everybody's attention. Thunderstruck by Steven Seagalis. And the first time I saw him, I thought, like, who are these hillbillies from Appalachia? And then when I discovered that they were actually a band from like Sweden or Finland or Norway or something like that, I was like, what in the world are we talking about here? It was like,
did they name themselves after the worst actor from the brief martial arts period of Hollywood action movies in the 80s and 90s?
Yes, they did.
He made two decent movies, and the rest were just.
What do you think Steven Seagal's best movie is? Under Siege,
a TV
right?
edit of Under Siege.
Under Siege.
There's a certain iconic scene that needs to go for that movie to be watchable, but otherwise, it's one of his better ones. You know what I mean. If you're a guy of a certain age, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Although his Above the Law did really well too.
I think that's the other one. I just couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but everything he's done ever since. It's like, what are we talking about?
Didn't he join Border Patrol at one point or something?
Yeah, he was because he's from Louisiana, and Louisiana's kind of a weird bird state in many ways. I mean, they have gay frogs that they serve up on plates next to bugs from the mud. But you can, in Louisiana, you can be like a reserve cop there fairly easily. And I think he was like one of these reserve cops. So they did a whole reality TV show around all of that. And it just got weird. But like, the guy's bizarre. Like, he gained 800 pounds, lives in the Middle East. He doesn't even live in the United States. He lives in like Dubai.
His trouble started when he took his Aikido that he did, which is a pacifist martial art, really just about getting out of trouble. And he incorporated light lethal moves into it for Aikijitsu, I believe is what it's called. And the master who taught him this told him not to use the stuff in Hollywood. And he said he would not do so. And then he went to proceeded to go on and use it in a bunch of movies. Yeah. And apparently his master ended up taking him out behind the woodshed afterwards.
Oh,
and
really?
I think that's when his trouble began. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Speaking of martial arts films, today, a film by Jason Statham is coming out called Shelter. Now, I haven't seen it. I'm taking my wife to see it. I normally wouldn't go to the movie theater to see this movie. This is not something I would normally do. The reason why I am doing it, though, is because my friend from my parish is the screenwriter of this movie. So this is his movie that's debuting today. With Jason Statham.
So that gives you a little bit of vote of confidence that there are certain kinds of language might be kept to a minimum in the movie. And
okay, so this is what's interesting about my conversations with my friend about Jason and the kind of movies that my friend makes. And he and my friend intentionally does not include sexual behavior in his screenwriting. He says it's not right, it's not good. It puts the actors in very uncomfortable situations. And
it always detracts from the story.
Right.
Always.
So he doesn't do it. Praise be to God. Now, there's going to be language in this film. Okay, so there's that.
Language bothers me much less than it does other people, but blasphemy is always jarring because, again,
I can't take blasphemy.
There's literally no reason for it. Right. That's why when I was briefly making a few videos on another channel about film reviews, I would always at the beginning say, okay, so blasphemy, yes or no? Kind of language, yes or no? Weird sex stuff, yes or no? That kind of stuff.
So there's going to be language and there's going to be violence in it. But what's interesting about this one and about my conversations with my friend about Jason as an actor is a guy who understands. He's kind of like a YouTuber. He understands exactly what his audience wants to see from him. And he will only deliver that. He doesn't he understands that they only want to see him use his jujitsu to kick people. Like that's, or whatever style he's into. I don't even know. That's the extent. They just want to see him do that. So that's all he does.
Jason Statham knows that he's supposed to be Jason Statham in a Jason Statham movie.
Exactly.
Where he's punching giant sharks or beating up drug dealers or something.
100%.
This is why I think that after Jaws and Jaws 2, the best shark movie ever made is probably The Meg.
The Meg.
It knows exactly what the assignment was and nails it. It knows exactly what it was going for.
And he says that's totally Jason. He doesn't mess around, and he doesn't like when people try to get him to do things he's not supposed to be doing. So he's very focused that way in his career. The other thing is, he says Jason also doesn't want to do like sexual behavior or whatever. He doesn't really like that in his characters, doesn't want that in his movies, and doesn't want to do that.
That's interesting because some of his early movies he made,
right?
What were the two movies about his heart rate, where he had to keep his heart rate above a certain beat or he'd die? Basically, it was Speed, cardiac arrest. I'm trying to remember. What
you remember him when he was in was it Snatch with I
never saw that one.
With what's his name, Brad Pitt. And
the movie I'm thinking of was really early, like one of the movies that launched him, and it was, well, his heart rate had to stay above a certain level. So you can guess how they did that in one scene. I'm guessing he was such a new actor, he didn't have much choice in the matter. I don't know if he's
I don't know. I don't think Jason's a saintly holy man. Don't get me wrong here, but I'm just saying I liked the fact that they have at least some moral compass that they're trying to pursue. But I know my friend.
Now, I don't want to rain on your parade though. But there's a gold standard martial arts movie that this movie will fail to live up to, and that is Street Fighter from the 1990s.
Well, probably.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
I would say it's Big Trouble in Little China.
That was Raul Julia's exit, last film role, and it's a terrible movie. But man, is he so good. He defines chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Big Trouble in Little China is the gold standard, personally. I think Big Trouble in Little China.
I love Big Trouble in Little China simply because they took the main hero of the story and did you a head fake on it, like the sidekick.
Yeah.
You know, the local Chinese martial arts guy is actually the hero, and Kurt Russell is just the bumbling sidekick in the movie.
You know what I like the best about that, though, is because they fake you out, but they never, like... They let Kurt Russell keep all of his confidence and coolness, and he remains cool and likable and funny, and you still kind of want to be him even when he bumbles and fails, because he's just that confident and unflappable in himself. He's like, oh yeah, I just fired my gun in the air and knocked rocks on my head and knocked myself out for half of the final battle, but I'm going to wake up and I'm still cool, and I'm just going to go like fling knives at the bad guys anyway. Like he's still, it's the perfect balance of subverting your expectation without being like subversive in a lame, like liberal way where like, oh, people aren't actually heroic. Like it's great. I love that movie.
Plus the villain is unequivocally evil. He's like a pagan demon.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And then we got the iconic bad guys, you know, that we saw in Mortal Kombat all got their start there. Big Trouble in Little China. So.
Oh yeah,
Icons.
Mortal Kombat was ripping off that movie. So like I put it this way: Mortal Kombat, when it came out, I remember a friend of mine playing that on the arcade machine, and in early '90s, you're kind of floored by how violent the game is. Now in hindsight, the game's practically wholesome by comparison to things that are being marketed today. But
I don't know about
even when I was like 12, I saw that and I was like, that's just Big Trouble in Little China with extra steps.
Exactly, with extra characters now. Hey, by the way, Sharon, you are amazing. God love you. Thank you for your generosity. Says, this is bittersweet. Looking forward to the new show. God bless you. God bless you, Sharon. You are always an amazing, part of this community, and I couldn't be more grateful to you. By the way, which reminds me, Chesty, you got your, thanks for sending your address in for winning the last ever ACT bingo game for the morning show. That prize is on its way to you. So thank you again for being on the team, Chesty. Praise be to God. But let me just, one last thing I wanted to say about the shelter was my friend tried to get Jason to dig a little deeper in this latest movie called The Shelter, releases today in theaters. And he wanted him to have a little bit more depth. The character does not be so shallow as to just beat people up and that's it. So he wrote a story that kind of pushed Jason to have a little bit more depth as a person, as a character on film. So it's going to be typical martial arts action, but hopefully with a little more depth. And but of course, my friend wrote the script. He didn't get to decide how they shot the movie. When you write the script, they buy it from you. It's out of your hands at that point. But he was there for the filming. He was there for a lot of it, and he was being consulted at every step along the way. So I'm hoping it comes out with his signature on top of it. But I'm going to take my wife to go see that film tonight. So I'll let you know on Monday in the afternoon how it all goes. But looking forward to it. Date night with the wife on an action flick. That's awesome.
Apparently, so now, is this though the typical like retired dangerous man with a dangerous past gives up his like blue collar job, the baker, the beekeeper?
No.
Okay.
No blue collar job.
We need like a whole trilogy of these called like the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
Yeah. Oh, they did that. It was what was the spy movie they did that had that title to it?
I don't know.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh no. Okay. Well, the movie's not that great.
It's not.
The series, the original TV adaptation of the book with Alec Guinness in it is phenomenal.
Yeah, not the movie.
My favorite of these though is still Equalizer, even though I don't care much for the original show. I tried watching it; it's really slow. But,
do you like
the original Equalizer
Denzel
movie? I can forget. I'm not wild about, shall we say, like race swapping in movies, but
I like
Denzel. Exceptions. Denzel does a really nice job in that movie.
I like Denzel.
Now there are problems with that movie. It's a definite like TV edit if you can find one somewhere for language.
Yeah, I use filters, but yeah.
I use filters.
The thing about Denzel though is he's an excellent actor. I like him in anything he does. I literally can watch anything Denzel does. The problem I have with Denzel, I mean, the original series back when I was a kid and I used to watch Equalizer, it was an old white guy who was doing this. He wasn't getting into like martial arts style battles with people. You know what I mean? Like he never did that.
The Denzel ones are very modern. They're very post Jason
very
Bourne
John Wick. Like the problem with that though is Denzel is what, 70 something?
They play into that in Equalizer 3. They kind of point out that he's getting too old for all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, they do. Yes, true. Yeah. But it's like he's just a wee bit too old to be, going brawling with all these youngins, like that. So I don't know. That's my only problem with it. But I like Denzel as an actor, so I can forgive the race swapping because he's such a great actor.
If you like the Equalizer, CW, I think it was, had another version of the Equalizer with Queen Latifah as the Equalizer.
No,
now I haven't watched this.
Stop it. Gotta go. All right, we're gonna end on that note right there. Okay, Queen Latifah as Equalizer should be where we say goodbye.
Signing off in the morning by endorsing Queen Latifah.
By Queen Latifah. Like what? Stop it. Okay. No more of this nonsense. What are we talking about? Queen Latifah? I didn't even know she was still alive. Like, what are we talking about here? Billy Jack was upstaged by Bruce Lee. You think? What? Like you don't? What Craig? Are you favoring the hippie martial arts guy? Is that what you're saying? Like you prefer the hippie martial arts guy over Bruce Lee? What? I don't even. Why? Billy Jack. Who remembers Billy Jack? Probably nobody but us.
20 minutes ago. This story broke 20 minutes ago.
I was about to try and
Don Lemon has been arrested for storming City Church in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yep.
He's facing conspiracy against rights charges and violation of the PACE Act.
About time. Praise be to God.
There's a perp. I'm hoping there's a perp walk.
That'd be
and
great.
only not because I disagree with his politics, whatever. It's because of how smug he was on his show afterwards about, this is First Amendment protected. I can do this. It's fine. It's one of those, he didn't get the memo that he was never the celebrity he thought he was.
It's not public property.
CNN got rid of him.
Yeah.
Right.
What I said was, how would he feel if we busted in his gay bar and walked up to him with protesters and got in his face with the microphone and camera? Like if we interrupt all of his gayness, what would he say then? Would he be happy about that? Like, no, he would say that we were trespassing. He was trespassing on private property. I don't understand why people think that a church is public property. It's not. It's private property. You can't just do whatever you want.
Here's another interesting retirement announcement. Not really retirement announcement, but Cardinal Christophe Pierre, the Apostolic Nuncio to the U.S., turns 80 years old today. 80 years old is the retirement trigger for cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Pope, I say that the Pope can easily just say, "No, it's fine. He can stick around if he wants him to."
If anything, I would just accept that if that was what we returned to, which was no, you die in your role, the way that we used to do it.
Right.
But
like,
it would need to be
that
applied
canon law
consistently.
Right. Like canon law is applying canon law to every little thing is troublesome. Like I would love to say age 70, instead of a priest retiring unless the bishop desperately needs him to stay, he instead sends a letter or has a meeting with the bishop to determine his fitness to continue.
Yeah.
And if he is able to continue, then he continues until he can't.
Exactly.
Same with bishops. I think that would be a fine thing, because not every man can continue working in a job that is demanding, like being a priest is at 70.
Yeah.
And if maybe canon law was changed so that the priests in that position were given, extra help of some kind, if we can do so, given vocations, that would be fine. But there are plenty of good priests who are retiring right now because they have to.
Yes, exactly.
And then what do they end up doing? They spend the next 5 years saying mass, as the visiting priest at parishes and hearing confessions, doing the normal things that they could just do in their own parish, but they don't.
Breaking news from 12 hours ago.
Oh,
no idea if this is true or not, but the X feed JMT says Matthew McConaughey says, I need to return to the church. He says, all right. Is it true?
So
is he going to come back?
I think my favorite one is there's a trending news topic that apparently Virginians are having buyer's remorse over how their election for the governor and legislature turned out.
What? No. Stop.
Oh, you mean the Democrats started acting like unhinged lunatics as soon as they were given total power in Virginia?
Like,
if you look at the list of bills they're passing, this is why, like, I hear some conservative and traditionalists saying, I'm not going to vote in 2026. I'm not happy. I'm like, well, just look at Virginia. Come into a state near you or come into a federal government near you if they get the opportunity. I'm just saying these people are lunatics, and it's fine to vote in self-defense.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
They have a bill they're going to try to fundamentally ban private firearm ownership in Virginia.
I know. Our friend to show, Mike Koniger, lives there, and he's already like trying to he can't pack up fast enough to get to West Virginia.
Yeah,
it's terrible. And West Virginia only has one TLM. Only one. It's on the border.
They have a bill in Virginia that, if passed, would allow the state to buy houses for bureaucrats on the taxpayer dime. Okay, like what are you people doing? Like, nobody likes this idea except for the bureaucratic class. And what do they have a lot of in Virginia? Bureaucrats. It's insane.
Yeah,
those are just two things off. There's like a 20, 30 bill list that's floating around out there. That's every single one of them are likely to pass unless the speculation is right that Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia, is being groomed for a 2028 run. And then they'll allow her to veto some of the more egregious things, like probably the bureaucrat bill.
God help us.
Brace yourself.
Yeah. I'm looking for I'm on X trying to see if there's a picture of Don Lemon being arrested anywhere. I can't find anything.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning.
I know, but come on.
They took him into custody overnight, and they had a little press release, gay little press release about it this morning.
I see like people talking about it, but I don't see images of him in handcuffs or anything along those lines. Unbelievable. Don Lemon. We'll have to talk about that on Monday, I suppose. Don Lemon. Or Mom Donnie. What is Mom Donnie? Oh, he's yelling at people again. Okay, that's good. New York. You really.
Oh, here goes the New York Times. Let's see. This is being posted on X. I don't even know who this is. Not even a big profile, but they post it with, and then they came for the journalists. Hispanics, legitimate citizens, now journalists. Who's next? The Jews? Stephen Miller, real Donald Trump, one in America that looks like them, speaks English like them.
Isn't that crazy? What's going on in
Rock's summary of the topic? Yeah, Don Lemon is arrested in L.A. on January 29th on charges of violating federal law at January 18th protest. His lawyer calls it a First Amendment issue and plans to fight the charges. Well, good luck to you. It's been really rather amply demonstrated that that's not a First Amendment issue at all, and you're probably going to jail, especially since they have your confession on podcast form. It's so ridiculous.
Pope Leo just
There's
sent
video of them out there planning it with him. It's like so ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pope Leo just sent a letter to the Archdiocese of Toledo celebrating the 800th anniversary of them turning a mosque into their cathedral.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up Spain, actually. What is going on in Spain? I mean, I think I'm seeing a lot of people complain about their queen, apparently, because she didn't make the sign of the cross at the funeral for those victims at the train tragedies. And I don't know. It's like, is the Spanish? I don't know anything about the Spanish crown. I don't know anything about this couple. I'd like to find somebody from Spain who might provide some more detail about what's going on over there. Apparently, Spain is just really in an anti-Catholic trend these days. Communist.
So here's a question for you. Here's a question for you, for your audience too. This is a potentially spicy topic. There's a trending tweet right now being shared by various people, screenshots of it. A young woman named Anna says, "A guy stopped me after Mass and asked for my phone number. My sister witnessed it. I am mortified." Now, is it okay to ask women out that you meet at your church?
Is it okay to
I would
ask
say
women
yes,
out
because
at
that's
your
where I
church?
met my wife, was at my parish many moons ago. Now, I'd
Why
like more
wouldn't you-
context.
Why
Was
would
she
you ask?
mortified because the guy was not fitting her image of an ideal male? Or is this not where you're supposed to meet people? Is at your church? Because you're the best shot you're going to have of finding someone who aligns with your values is
Are
at
we
your
talking about
parish,
this with
right?
Cavazos?
I think we were talking about it with Nick, at least briefly.
I think he
And
brought it up.
The
Right?
the funny thing is that she basically started off saying that she was mortified because she was not interested in this guy at all, and she was like essentially making fun of him, and then immediately, as soon as there was backlash, switched to, "Oh, I have anxiety, and it's like traumatic for me to be approached by anyone, and that's why I'm freaking out, and stop making fun of me." So it was. It was like,
how's it go? How's that?
And I saw that and I was like, well, this is mainly an issue of social media exacerbating the worst tendencies of the female of the species, which is that, okay, you, as a young man, you get your courage up to go and ask that girl out, after Mass.
Right.
But instead of the old days where she just would have kind of, if she didn't like you, she would have just like laughed with her friend and then moved on. Like now she posts it on X, and if you're aware of her and you see her on X, again she didn't like post a picture of him or identify him by name or whatever. But imagine if you did know that was her X account, and then you see that not only did you know that you're being made fun of by her on social media, and she's fishing for other people to congratulate her on being asked out, and also make fun of the guy for asking her out. It's such a sad world, and then she's
according to Kevlar Catholic,
and then she would
it
probably
is completely okay.
Yeah,
it is completely okay to ask a girl for her phone number so long as it's at the sign of the peace.
Yes,
totally, absolutely fine and okay.
That
as
is
long
funny.
as long as it's during the sign of the peace. Okay, so follow the rules and it should be fine.
This is why I think that woman's tweet is a good reason. A good reminder that when you post something on social media, give appropriate amount of context to make sure you don't sound absolutely awful unintentionally.
Sure. That too. Yeah.
Because if she said, a guy I didn't like asked me out, I'm mortified, and nobody would care. We would not be talking about this right now.
Yeah, it would not have blown up as much.
Somebody might have asked, why are you telling us this? And then moved on.
Immaturity. The answer is immaturity, right? She's just an immature young woman.
Well,
that's the problem.
The problem is that it comes across as just it's the perfect, refutation of, oh, well, all you have to do as a guy is like just go to church and find a nice girl there and ask her out.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. And then
I don't understand why you're complaining.
You got to actually
totally
put in the legwork and get to know the person and not just ask them out based on the attraction. You got to actually go a little bit deeper than that.
Do you really? Come on now. Do they like tweed? Do they eat haggis? Do they smoke? Do they sip brandy? I mean, like these to get through that, and you're done. You're golden. It's good.
Do they know when you're supposed to wear seersucker? Do they have an autographed picture of Charles Coulomb on their wall?
That's great.
Do they have a good? Do they have an appropriate opinion on who should be the next monarch of Spain or France?
Yes, I like this. These are even better
questions.
Yeah.
Do
Do you know to ring the bell at the hockey tour? Because I apparently don't. So if you do, then you're uber trad, and then therefore that should be fine. So these are the tough questions we should ask. Well,
it reminds me of another
I
post
don't know
saw.
some of those things, but that's because I just trust the priests and the deacons that's offering the mass.
Oh boy.
You know, that's why I always find it funny. People are like, you can't understand the words that are being said at the Latin mass. How do you know the mass is being offered and not a demon worship thing? I'm like, but you were joking, right?
Right.
There's a priest vetted by the local bishop, even if the bishop is awful. Do you think Cardinal Super?
And by the way, do you think just because they speak English, it's not being
Satan? No.
Yeah, like a Novosordo priest in Louisiana from about 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, performed some sort of crazy sex act on his altar for the camera, and they had to deconsecrate the altar and reconsecrate it. So he's a Novosordo English speaking guy. Let that sink in. But anyway. Honeybees. Most single Catholic gals are counting on the church ask out.
And that's why we're saying it's hurting the cause as a Catholic girl to then go on social media and complain about getting asked out after mass.
Yeah.
And not even asked out, as MB Slick says. All he did was ask for her number. He didn't say, hey, do you want a date? You want to get married? He just wanted a number to try and follow up on, hey, can we get to know each other type of thing? That's, basic social interaction these days.
One of the things that I find that is meant well, but was always been executed poorly are young adult nights at a parish, because they always identify a young adult as 18 to 35. And that's kind of once you're past 28, you're not really a young adult anymore, and I'm being generous.
Or it's a singles mingle, and it's for single adults in their 20s and 30s or 30s and 40s or whatever, and then you just end up with these annulled people going around trying to troll for a wife or a husband, and you're just this is just not a good situation.
That's true too. That's happened to my daughter. Yep. Somebody in one of those circumstances trying to reach out to her. So. Yep. It's a thing. Except I think Junior Barra wants to know, what did he look like to deserve all of this? Well, the answer is, June, clearly the man looked broke. That is why she was appalled that he would ask for a phone number. He obviously looked like he had no money whatsoever.
Yeah. So. Oof, I wouldn't go that far, but you know what?
If he looked like he had money, I don't think we'd be seeing that tweet. Never mind. I'm not saying.
Okay, so not coincidentally,
know that they're going to take care of him.
Feed right now. In my X feed right now came a satire post from an account called A Finance Guy's Ex-Wife. Okay. Did a satire of that post. And here's what it says. A guy stopped me leaving the bank and asked for my number. My sister witnessed it. My friend is a teller there. I asked her what his balance is. She said $14,000. I am mortified.
Hey, by the way, Violet. Outstanding. Praise be to God in all things. Violet says, yesterday I was at adoration and daily mass, and we received the body and the blood of Jesus Christ for the first time ever. That's amazing, Violet. Praise be to God. Congratulations. That is amazing. You must have felt high as a kite, I imagine, for the first time. I remember even back in my pagan days when I went to receive the Eucharist for the first time ever. There is something absolutely life-changing about that. So congratulations, Violet. So glad that you were able to come into the church. Praise be to Jesus. Flying Tigers, good morning, says, good luck in your new time slot. I'm going to need more than luck, I'm going to think, Rob. I'm going to need God's immeasurable graces just to get through. I mean, that late in the day, it's like bedtime. I'm going to be half asleep the whole hour. It's going to be rough. It's going to be
here's
really
another
rough.
Bit of news for you. Do you have anybody watching this in Ireland?
Probably.
So prayers for Ireland, because now they are being told that Catholics in Ireland are being warned that if they die after 9 p.m. at Galway Hospital, they will not be able to receive the last rites due to budget cuts for chaplaincy. Many patients have already been denied the last rites before dying due to the financial cuts.
Ouch.
Yeah. Once Catholic Ireland. Their vocations crisis makes us look like we're having a springtime of vocations here by comparison.
Hey, look who's chiming in the chat box here, though. Forgotten Hollywood says Anthony and I met in September, and he didn't formally ask me out until January. But we had spent time with each other many times prior to that at various church functions after Mass. Praise be to God. So thankfully, she did not get on X and say, I can't believe this guy asked me out. Thankfully,
this broke guy asked me out. I was mortified.
You look like you got money. You're in a PhD program. Come on, man. She clearly knew that you were going to be very successful.
Oh yeah, that must be it.
Everybody who goes into a PhD program is obviously very wealthy. Obviously.
Yeah, my PhD, the cohort in my department that came after me was the biggest in that department's history. And
Really?
some of us began to ask questions about, like, how many of these PhDs are you starting to just give out now? Like,
Yikes.
how many of these people are we going to be competing with?
That's got to feel pretty bad after all that hard work that you put into it, to get there, to get to that far, and only for it to feel like it's become cheapened, like the inflation has hit the PhD department.
There are warning signs you start seeing once you're in the programs, like them not returning your calls about student teaching opportunities, or finding out from people that some of your colleagues are teaching at like 6 different colleges during the week and then going to classes at the same time because they're teaching as adjuncts, and that they find out that their best bet for teaching is to stay as an adjunct after they get their PhD, meaning to make a reasonable living, they're working like a ridiculous amount of time a day. These are people who have no time off for anything. They're teaching every day, and then on Sundays they're spending all day grading papers. Oof. No. And the university
not a great existence.
Bring you in all the university departments from undergraduate all the way through your PhD and everything in between, post all over the walls inside the department offices. Oh, look at all these jobs you can get with your bachelor's in your social science program. There's all these jobs. 2 people have each job that we have on this in the state, which equals to fewer than sit in the average classroom in an undergraduate class. But hey, look at all these cool jobs you can get.
Yes,
that's why I advocate higher education reform by burning the system down.
By burning it down.
Burning down the college system.
I think the idea of getting degrees is kind of a nice idea. Like we like the idea of having these credentials, and it feels nice to have these things. But I've always stopped myself from going any further because it's like, okay, what do I really need that for? Like, spend the time, spend the money. What am I going to be doing that? Do I really like? If I kind of want like an honorary PhD from some university in history just for the fun of it, but I don't like really want it because I don't want to be a professor at a college. That's why you would
really
get
need to be Dr. McLean? I mean, do you really need that?
If you're going to be a professor at a college,
for some reason, like having a PhD goes a long way for you.
I mean, I'm sure that the requirement is to be a professor, history professor at a college. You probably have to have a PhD and 87 billion years of experience. And we're happy to pay you $60,000 per year. Something like that. I'm sure.
Which is like basically
it's bizarre.
Which, if you're a single man, if you're a single adult, no children, no dependents, then you can live okay.
You can live in an apartment, in a terrible apartment, and you can eat terrible food for that kind of money. And that's about it. Welcome to the new world, right? Hey, Walter, welcome and good morning. Yeah, we were talking about Don Lemon getting his comeuppance. We were looking for the perp walk picture. Haven't seen it yet, though. So if you see one, let me know.
See, my issue here is that he was taken in overnight when CNN was out there when Roger Stone at 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. had his door kicked in. And he was perp walked in his underpants, right on CNN.
Yeah, we need a good perp walk photo of Don.
Vicious ICE is. You saw nothing compared to what the January 6ers went through, and what just talking heads who were related to it went through.
100%. Hey, Dr. Bob says being a doctor is pretty cool. I imagine it would be. I can't really know. Never will know. That's okay. Professor McLean, exactly. John Paul. It's got a ring to it. I like it. Professor McLean, Professor Holy Roman Emperor, Professor McLean of Holy Roman Emperor Studies of the Holy Roman Emperor Department, Dean of the Holy Roman Emperor. Something like that. That's what I need. I need that. Maybe at Cambridge, Oxford. I take it. If you guys are interested in hiring me, let me know. Reach out. I'll take the job. Cat Cans, good morning to you. 14,000 could be used. 14K could be used well in the stock market. People say it's too volatile. That's when you make the money. You can even make money on stocks as they go down. It takes a lot of studying. Yeah, I tried the whole trading thing. Man, it's just, I think it can be done. I think there's systems that you can study it and make some wise decisions and really get use out of the ups and downs of the market, the volatility. But I think it's a full-time job. And if you're only a part-time pretender like me, then forget it. I stopped doing it because, I mean, it just takes time and experience to get really, really good at that. I think was it John Paul Sandoval? Somebody was asking me, will Father Murr be on as a guest in the new time slot? No, unfortunately, it's going to be way too late in the evening for Father Murr to be on live with me in the afternoons starting on Monday. So if I get him on, it's going to be in a pre-record situation. And as you guys know, I almost never do pre-records. I mean, I do them, but it's super rare because of all the extra
for him.
work.
He is the kind of guest that merits, I think, the exception to that rule, though.
And I would agree with that. But I have to figure that out. So I got to get in the slot. I got to start working the problem, figuring out. It's like starting from scratch for me. So it's, been in the business a long time, but now I'm starting all over. So I got to figure out what that slot's like and how to get a routine and get into a rhythm and all that other stuff. And then I'll start adding the complexity of pre-records or whatever. So we're just going to get started and move from there. But somebody else asked whether or not Dr. Stine will be on in the afternoons. This was Lord of the Rings is on with us. Well, good morning to you, Lord of the Rings. Praise be to God. One ring to rule them all. Will Dr. Stine be able to join us in the afternoons? That's the question of the day.
Well, yeah, if you'll have me.
Praise be to
We
God.
already knew that. I already told you that.
That was an easy answer. Low key, 95% of day traders lose money. Well, certainly 95% of 100% of every time I tried it, I did. That's for sure. University in Proximus, University of the Holy Roman Empire, Chancellor. Now that's even got even more ring to it. Chancellor.
What about Supreme Chancellor?
Mind blown.
Is he going to be secretly having an army raised in clone vats?
No. How's it go? Edward Clancy, good morning to you. Are you collecting for producer Jake's retirement? Why would I be collecting for producer Jake's retirement? He's got 50 years ahead of him of work life.
Sorry, Joe. No, I am transgenerational. I identify as greatest generation, and I want my money.
Wow.
Okay. I want my money.
So let me get this straight. You are identifying as the greatest generation, the generation that came back and gave us, no-fault divorce, abortion.
Yeah, who cares about all that? We won the war. We won the war. That's all that matters.
Did we win the war? Really?
Sure. Yeah.
Did we?
won it.
Yeah. You're the generation that went to the moon.
Yeah. Exactly. We're the greatest.
Yeah.
I identify as the greatest generation, and I want my money.
Yeah. What?
Give me
Edward,
my Medicaid. Give me my Medicare. Give me my pension. All of it.
He's got 50 years of good working life in front of him. He doesn't need the money. However, I'm on death's door.
I'm working until I'm 80? What are you talking about? This is ridiculous.
Of course you will.
I think a lot of the behaviors that people hate baby boomers for, you can understand it more if you try to get into the heads and the shoes of people who grew up with the propaganda about the greatest generation.
Oh, boy.
Once you understand the psychological damage that would be to be like, these people were, it's like them and George Washington, right? Like once you get to that place, you understand like how you can have that reaction. And it also makes sense what Gen X had to go through, right? Because Gen X had the two generations before them and going, well, we're just going to check out.
Lost Creole, good morning. Increase the price is justified, value is added. The time value of money is taking an innate object and multiplying it. Deep thoughts by Lost Creole. Deep thoughts. Elizabeth, good morning to you. Yes, probably would be 10 p.m. because Spain is even hours ahead, or is an hour ahead. Yeah, that's the trouble with Father Murr. And I'd love to get him on to talk about a deeper conversation about what's going on in Spain. But we're gonna have to figure that out, pre-record that or something. I'm looking for other guests also. If you got recommendations for people, solid Catholics in Spain who are like talking about what is the problem in Spain, in their government, in their monarchy, all of that. I would love to have that conversation about it. But I think a lot of people don't talk about it publicly, unfortunately, from Spain. I don't know why. There's nothing after ACT in the morning. Thank you, Edward Klein. Thank you for noticing that. Let's go, Lou. We Gen Xers got so screwed. We got the short end of the stick. Let's go, Lou. Let's just be honest. We did get the short end. The greatest generation ever is, in fact, the Gen Xers. And we didn't even get helmets when we were kids. We rode the big trike 3-wheeler down the hill, up the ramp. No helmet. They didn't even buy us a helmet. So we definitely got the short end of the stick. Says this was a great show and fine way to end. I will miss my AM routine with the show, but we'll tune in the afternoon. Don't forget, Rise Right starts Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well with Sarah and Jake. Too many Masons in Spain. Too many Masons everywhere.
Well, they need him to finish that cathedral.
These are not the Masons you're looking for.
These are not the Masons.
These are not the Masons you're looking for.
Is that a cathedral? No, wait. Is it?
It's a
basilica.
It's not a cathedral.
It's a basilica. Holy Family. Yeah. Sagrada Familia.
Is it a basilica?
Is it a basilica? I thought it was a basilica.
In order to be a basilica, the Pope has to name it that. Otherwise, it would just be a big church, right?
Sagrada Familia is the Basilica de la Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
So it's been declared. It's a basilica.
Yes.
Janice says they also call it the silent generation. Silent because of the hell they saw in the war. Didn't want to talk about it.
No, but Silent Generation is after the Greatest Generation. Silent Generation is born during the war, before the baby boomers. Silent Generation is this generation between the Greatest Generation and the baby boomers, isn't it? It's like 49 to 54 or whatever it is. I can't remember.
It's sort of one of those micro generations.
Yeah.
That's sort of like
different from
where people where I'm at. Right. It's because on paper, I'm Gen X, but there are so many different ways of calculating which generation is it that I get called a millennial sometimes. Yeah. And there is a micro generation often cited from about 78 to 83 that I definitely fit better into. And another, what do they call it, the forgotten generation, because we were the latchkey kids who grew up with the internet as teenagers.
Sorry, I got the dates wrong.
A little too young to remember when like He-Man was on TV. Yeah. A little too old. I remember to really get into like a lot of like 90s pop culture though. Just a little too old for a lot of that stuff.
It's 1928 to
Power Rangers.
1928 to 1945 is Silent Generation.
Is the Silent Generation? Yep. Silent Gen. Your mother, Phoebe, says her mother was Silent Generation. Wow. The other day, because I had watched Masters of the Air on Filters, and so I was like in this sort of World War II genre mode here. I saw a video of Minnie Driver. Remember Minnie Driver? She was an actress, or she still is, I suppose. She was in Good Will Hunting. I don't know what else she was in. I have no idea if she did anything other than that, but Good Will Hunting for sure. Her father was on one of these bombers from the RAF during the war. And I thought about that. I'm like, how old? Like, he must have been really old when she was conceived, because it seems like she is and she doesn't seem that old to me. She has to be a Gen Xer. So her dad fought in World War II. That means they were having her very late in life. Seemed crazy to me. Seemed really crazy to me. Minnie Driver. Does anybody remember anything else Minnie Driver did besides Good Will Hunting? I'm not sure.
I just saw her mentioned in some movie, and I can't remember what it was. It was not Good Will Hunting. It was.
She was definitely kind of briefly that kind of.
Yeah. What movie?
Actress who was expected to make waves afterwards, but then didn't.
Yeah, then really didn't. She was married to Tom Cruise.
She was in the Beekeeper, the Jason Statham.
Was she?
Dangerous man took on a blue collar job. Yeah. That's a movie I wanted to see because I find that genre absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm waiting for like an action movie parody about the Dunkin' Donuts guy from the 80s, where he actually was like a CIA operative or something, and he has to
I think about him all the time. Remember when he retired? Because his shtick was time to make the donuts, right? You're talking about that guy, right? And every commercial was him getting out of bed in the middle of the night, time to make the donuts. And then when he retired as an actor and was no longer going to be in their commercials, they did a whole shtick about him retiring. They did a press conference and everything. It was kind of a big deal. I can't tell you over the past 10 years how many times when I've gotten out of bed at 3:50 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning, I said to myself, time to make the donuts. I say it all. I said it this morning. Every day, time to make the donuts.
I want
to get
an
up.
action movie where that guy gets attacked in his donut shop, and he says the line as he puts the guy into a comically oversized mixer. It'd be great.
Is it because? Is it John Wick? Is it Jason Bourne? Who ruined Hollywood so that all we ever get is, they thought they were messing with an unknown. Secretly, he was a former assassin spy guy, and it takes everybody out. Like it's become such a shtick. Was it Bourne?
It was Bourne. The Bourne movies ruined James Bond. And once they saw that formula work, they were like, well, we can apply this to all sorts of things. And that's how you get 1.5 million movies about some blue collar guy who was really like, a secret agent or a special forces guy as he takes apart drug dealers, which is fine. It's a fine low budget style of movie you can make. Hollywood should really lean into low budget things, all things considered. But it does get silly after a while. I mean, The Beekeeper. I mean, really? We're kind of. I'm waiting for the female action one. I'm waiting for the female action one. The Milkmaid.
No, don't. That's the 80s all over again. Remember when the 80s martial artist ladies came out? It's like, oh, you're killing me.
Cynthia Rothrock, you mean?
Have you seen the videos of like bodybuilder women taking on a midget man, and the midget man wins? Have you seen those?
I mean, no, I have not, and I will not see that.
That's pretty funny.
That's a horrifying mental image, because one of those memories I have from being a teenager was hanging out with a friend of mine at our local Kroger store in the magazine section and encountering the bodybuilder magazines that had the female bodybuilder on the front for the first time, and being like, our brains not being able to compute what we were seeing, because it was just disturbing. So horrifying.
Yeah, it's like trans ideology is really what
and
it
I'm
feels
not talking
like.
about fit women. I'm not talking about fit women with a low body
fat
percentage. We're talking the extreme bodybuilders, the kind who put on the tiny bikinis, get their body fat percentage to 1%, put on 3,500 pounds of pure muscle with the help of all sorts of weird anabolic steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Paint their body a weird color of like some weird grease on their body to go stand under lights, and they just look like monsters. It's just gross. Male or female, you can barely tell the difference once they get to that level.
Yep, it's pretty.
And they have a short lifespan, by the way. For indulging in those prideful inclinations, they have a very short lifespan. Destroys them utterly.
Hey, Di Maria says, I don't usually ask for prayers. Tuesday, I'm traveling out of state to see a renowned eye surgeon in hopes that he can correct the catastrophic error from eye surgery. So like an error, like you had bad eye surgery before. I had this in the past. I'm so sorry. I will be praying for this intention. Be assured of that, Di Maria. I'll include you in our nightly rosary tonight. Lynn Pine, she was in Ella Enchanted. I guess she's been in a lot more stuff. We're talking about Minnie Driver a minute
I was
ago.
thinking of Grosse Pointe Blank. That was the film I was thinking of.
Oh, really? I guess I haven't looked up her filmology.
It was just I for some reason looked that film up because I was wondering about something else, and then I saw she was in it. It was like, I know that name. Wasn't she in something? She was in Good Will Hunting. She was like a voice of Jane in the Disney Tarzan, and she kind of like faded away and didn't really do anything big. So it was weird. Yeah.
Interesting. Mary says, time to make the donuts. How times have changed. No Dunkin' around here makes fresh donuts. They have huge factories where the donuts are made and trucked to all the shops. I remember getting warm Dunkin' Donuts at the local shop. My wife, when she was a teenager, worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I want to say it was the Beverly. It was like one of the Dunks in Beverly, Mass. And her job was to make the donuts in the morning. So she had to get up early, get in early, and make the donuts every morning for that store. But yeah, they stopped doing that a long time ago. I'll never forget, like when I was a kid, we had Dunkin' Donuts in San Antonio. And I don't remember where it's located. It might be Pat Booker Road. I forget which road it was on, but it was an old school Dunkin' Donuts and it had a bar, like a diner. and bar stools, and you sat at the bar and you would order your donut and you'd order your coffee and you sat there and you ate and drank it. Like Dunkin's has changed so much over the years. And in the 90s, when I for a period of time, I lost my secular radio job. They sold the radio stations and everybody got laid off, and I had to pay the rent. So I went and got a cable construction job. So every morning in 22 below and 15 feet of snow, we'd stop at the Dunks on the way to the job site, and I would get, of course, the largest extra large. And back in those days, the extra larges were like huge. They were like massive amounts of coffee. And you get an extra, and I get the blueberry bagel with the cream, the sausage, the egg, and the cheese with a Boston cream chaser. Okay, and that would get you through until breakfast time. Praise be to God. Those are the good days. But Dunkin's is just not the same as it used to be. It's just not the same. I don't go to any of those places anymore. I don't really go to coffee shops anymore. I like the idea of them, but I try not to consume sugar, so. I can't do it anymore, unfortunately. Although I would kill for like 4 dozen Boston creams. That would be just totally amazing. It'd kill me, but it'd be amazing. Hey, Harmony Gordon, good morning. Donuts are now $2 each at my local spot. Can you believe $2? That's pretty insane. I'm going to be honest with you. That's kind of expensive. Los Creole, Saint Martina feast day today. Her church in Rome was the former temple of Mars, the god of war. Based. Tennessee girl, good morning to you. Thanks for being on the team. You are absolutely amazing. Says Minnie has a movie coming out on Fox soon. Boy, I really undercut poor Minnie Driver. She's a very active actress, apparently. Faithful Women of the Bible or something to that effect. Interesting.
By the way, I do have an interesting tweet here from Damian Thompson. He's insisting that everyone in Rome is saying that the Pope is going to move Tucho. He's just waiting for a see to
why are you talking dirty to us?
Because he doesn't like
he
doesn't like publicly humiliating anyone. So he just wants an appropriate place to promote him out of the office.
I have a great place that he can go. Gaza.
Yes, I know. I'm saying
we could send him to Gaza.
Everybody knows that once you become the prefect for the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith, any promotion is a demotion. The only promotion you can get is to Secretary of State or becoming the Pope.
Or just retire and be done with it.
That isn't a demotion.
They retired Mueller. So retired Tucho. I mean, it's going to be an insult no matter how you play it. So just get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Go for it, Your Holiness. Don't hold back. Gus, good morning to you. Joe, where do you get your coffee? I get mine locally. 2 organic coffee roasters in Salem, New Hampshire. Gus, I'm super jealous. I have to admit this publicly, so don't make fun of me on X if you mind. I get my coffee at Costco. I get the beans.
Sorry.
See, I knew it.
No, Judy.
I knew it.
Judy was talking about the delicious Polish donuts, punchki, for Fat Tuesday, and she autocorrect made it say punch kiss. Can't wait for my punch kiss on Fat Tuesday. That is a great autocorrect, Judy. I love it.
I get my coffee at Costco, and I grind the beans up. It's great, though. It's really good coffee. I actually like it. It's not bad at all. I struggle. I've gone through so many different coffee varieties looking for that perfect coffee, and it all tastes the same to me, except for the ACT coffee brand that Jake swears is going to come out soon.
Give me a label. Just give me.
I know.
They also have not gotten back to me in a couple days, so I'm waiting for them.
Okay, thank you.
But they did get back to me when I emailed them after a year and a half, and they were like, "Yeah, we're happy to work with you guys.
We're really happy to air quotes work with you."
Apparently,
by that, what we mean is we're not going to respond to you anymore.
Apparently, they're busy all the time. But
what my hope is to put out an ACT branded coffee French roast. I like a French roast. So, well, I got to work on. I need to do the label. I drafted my own. The last time we did this a year ago, I drafted my own version of the label, but I wanted an original artist to create original artwork, because I just took a picture of Joan of Arc and I manipulated it with Photoshop to kind of illustrate the concept. But I wanted an original artist to go create something really special, but I couldn't afford to pay an original artist at the time. So it was going to cost a lot of money, and I just couldn't do it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll try to get that done, or else maybe I'll just use AI. What do you think? Everybody else is using AI. Maybe I just use AI and get it done. Should I be that lazy? Let me know in the comments. Mary, I get my coffee Costco too. I love it, even in the K cups. I don't do K cups. I just do the brew. A lot of people say the K cup machines can get moldy in the lines, and if you don't clean them out all the time, it can be a problem. I don't know. Is that true?
I don't like K cups. I don't like the plastic. I don't
They're
like
too
the
watery.
Weird flavor. Yeah,
too watery. Harmony Gordon, a cup of Joe. Here is more than $3. Everything is getting so expensive. It's true. It's true. D. Maria, good morning to you again. Thanks for being on the team. Costco apologist. I know, but it's good.
Kevin
it's good
FPC8, make Tucho prefect to Antarctica or nuncio. Nuncio to the Penguins. That'd be great.
I would just fire him. I would just retire him. Say, thanks, but no thanks. Have a great trip back to Argentina. But if you had to put him anywhere, where would you put him?
I would borrow a line from the young Pope and put him in Ketchikan, Alaska.
In that scene, didn't he look on the map, where can we put him? Didn't he wasn't there a whole thing of
Joe,
on the globe?
Yeah.
Canotech says, Joe, my daughter is a talented artiste. I could ask her, probably affordable.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's crowdsource.
Connect to us.
Crowdsource some art.
Connect to us through ACT at thestationofthecross.com. And if you go to our website, it's the email's on the top of the page. ACT at thestationofthecross.com. Send us an email and let's talk about that. I mean, I'd be open to it. I think it'd be great to have an insider a part of that. It'd be a lot of fun to do. But I wanted an epic Joan of Arc, right? You know what I mean? Joan of Arc shaming the guy who asked her for a phone number. That's what I want.
There you go.
That's what we need. Can you believe the Dufont?
It's the ACT.
Asked me for my phone number.
It's the ACT. Just ask her out for coffee blend. There you go. And it's Joan of Arc shaming that Catholic loser guy, that incel, for asking her out.
We should put that in maybe a little like a review type of thing, on you'd find on a book, the preferred coffee of incels everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
that would be baller.
This show is going places, mainly the afternoon.
Oh boy, Antarctica.
Lost Girl says Somalia. Send him to Somalia.
Yeah, I like Somalia. But do you mean Minneapolis? I just want clarification.
We're going to make
him Somalia or is it Minneapolis? If you could just clarify, that'd be appreciated. But Tucho to Somalia. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't give him a job anywhere, frankly. I wouldn't even want him to be the dog catcher at the Vatican. It's time for him to go home.
This is amazing. Breaking. This is overnight. A Minnesota man identified as Mark Anderson allegedly attempted to break Luigi out of prison by impersonating an FBI agent.
Yeah,
he was reportedly armed with a barbecue fork and what appeared to be a pizza cutter.
This seems reasonable. Luigi. This is totally legit news. It's absolutely factual. Don't even fact check it. Just go with it.
Well,
actually,
it's that Luigi guy, right?
It has been widely reported in mainstream media that a guy did try to break Luigi out by impersonating an FBI agent.
This is from Breaking 911. Yeah, they're a legit source.
Boy.
He had a pizza cutter and a barbecue fork.
That's funny, actually. Luigi.
Someone just quote tweeted and said, I'm starting to think that maybe everyone in Minnesota might be mildly retarded.
Mildly? Okay. I like that you're going very charitable
Poor
there.
Minnesota.
Poor Minnesota.
Hey, if Minnesota can produce Father John Bransich, it's got to be an okay state deep down. It's got to be an okay state deep down.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Minnesotans. They've really been hijacked. Elizabeth says, Joe, to celebrate the new time, you need to have a live Bible study of the Book of the Apocalypse. I owe you chapter 9. And I've already been doing my homework, getting ready for it. I just haven't recorded it. Maybe I'll record it today, but it is date night today. So getting my wife to go to see an action flick with me to the movie theater is kind of a big deal, so that's normally not what we do. So I'll see if I can get it recorded today, but I do want to do a live study. I do want to do that. I was thinking that'd be a lot of fun to do, but I probably would need to set it up for next week. getting the band back together and doing a live Bible. Last year we did 13 live deals. We did it on Zoom though. We didn't do it like live video on YouTube or anything. We did a Zoom call with everybody, and everybody got it through the email list. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to be a part of that, you got to be on the email list, and that's on the website, thestationofthecross.com/ACT. Sign up to the email, read the fine print. It says, by signing up, you allow Joe to harass your inbox relentlessly 17 times per day. It doesn't actually say that. What it should probably say is Joe on occasion sends you emails, because Joe is apparently too lazy to do it more consistently than that. But nonetheless, that's the way to do it.
Darren Sutton, is this still live? I just drove my wife to work and came back home.
Well, we're waiting till 4 so I can begin the new afternoon show.
We're starting this Friday.
4 on Monday.
Yeah.
4 on Monday. D. Maria says, Warpath coffee is really excellent coffee. Try the Mariner's blend. Ooh, interesting. You know what? When I dream about like the perfect coffee, I dream about like the rich, flavorful coffee that you would get like at a fancy hotel or something, or like at a really fancy gala dinner. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I think of, and I can never replicate that, no matter how many blends I've tried or how I prepared it or whatever. It just never, ever. I think it's got to be some way. I'm not doing it right.
That's because the rich have things marketed specifically to them that the rest of us don't. Now, this isn't true for things like toilet paper and
I read
toothpaste, but there are like a social media influencers out there who literally just make TikTok reels going to like Gucci's website and reading about their $600 toothbrushes and things. I am certain that they have their own coffee blends. Absolutely certain of it. And that these fancy hotels and gala dinners are getting that coffee.
Man, I can never duplicate it. Is it because I'm not using the right temperature? I haven't the slightest clue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, I can never quite get to that level, but that's always what I think of. Like when you've been to a fancy gala dinner and you had the dinner and it's still late at night, but you're like, would you like coffee after dinner? Yes, I would. And they pour it and you're like, this is the greatest coffee. And I have it black. It's so good. I've never tasted it anywhere else, no matter what I buy. It's just always the same. Feels the same. Nathaniel, Joe, what's your preferred Costco brand coffee? I forget the name of it. Actually, I'd have to look it up. It's like a light green color on it, white and light green. It's all I can remember. I don't remember the name of it, actually. My wife buys it all the time. Hill's Brother Coffee, Rock Gut Coffee. Somebody was asking something. Mateus. What action flick? We're talking about The Shelter with Jason Statham. That premieres tonight. It's in theaters. My friend from my parish is the screenwriter for that movie, so it was kind of a big deal to him and his family, obviously, that this movie is successful. So to support him, I'm taking my wife to see it on opening weekend. But buyer beware. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of language and clearly a lot of kicking people in the head. It's going to be interesting. My coffee is hot chocolate. Now that's good. It's something I love to do back in the day. I would love to mix hot chocolate in with my coffee. I like a good mocha. I'm a sucker for a good mocha.
It's a nice combo.
Yeah, and I would put like the what do you call those hot chocolate packets you buy at the store that are filled with nothing but junk?
Swiss Miss?
Yes. Swiss Miss in your coffee. Ugh. It's like pure crack. It's like Hunter Biden's version of crack.
There are recipe videos you can watch on how to make like luxurious hot chocolate with pretty common ingredients. Like almost no reason to buy the Swiss Miss stuff and just have this stuff once in a great while, and you'll be thankful that you spent the extra money on normal ingredients to make something 1,000 times better than wood shaving quality chocolate powder. I mean,
wood shaving quality. Well, we get like the Hershey's cocoa, 100% cocoa, no sugar, none of that. You get that, and if I use any cocoa in my coffee, that's what I use. And I use a sweetener instead of sugar if I do at all. And usually that's only on Sundays when I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's pure black coffee. Chris Lopez, good morning. I'm going to start subscribing to the King Dude in the morning since you won't be on at 6. Don't forget, Rise Right, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Monday morning. The King Dude, I congratulated him about a month or two ago. He hit 10 years, the King Dude, Mike Church. And I'm like, congratulations. And he's like, it's about time Catholic Media Inc. recognized me. I'm like, what do you, dude, really? I'm like, man, I'm not Catholic Media Inc. B, I'm happy you're here. And C, congratulations on 10 years. And what, like, is it a dig? Like, what are we talking about? Like,
Catholic Media Inc.
And Z, I'm like, I'm out of letters.
You're like the least inky Catholic media there is.
Right. I'm like, bro, they don't even recognize me. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, even Trad Inc. forgets about you.
Right, exactly.
Always
my wife is pointing out that Don Lemon was arrested, and yeah, no,
still no pictures.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
But there's no perp
Everybody
walk.
knows. I just checked Facebook, and it's the lead story from my local, very left-wing news website that I will go to for local news. That's only good for the weather. They're only good for the weather. The weather team is spectacular. Everything else sucks.
Hold up. Breaking news just announced: Don Lemon has been arrested by the feds. I don't know if you knew that.
There you go.
Did you know that?
Did you know that Kevin James is Catholic?
What? Have you been seeing his TikTok videos of him? His TikTok videos of him pretending to be an art teacher?
Kevin James?
Yeah.
No.
He's got a character.
That sounds like
he
a potential like School of Rock kind of movie that he could do. Actually.
Yeah, he's been doing this whole. He's been doing this whole thing on TikTok, pretending to be an art teacher.
It broke overnight, actually.
It's kind of fascinating. Kevin James is very fascinating. And during the COVID lockdown craze, he because he couldn't work, he decided to just do like skits and stuff on his YouTube channel. Like he wasn't going to sit around being bored. He just kind of got busy. It was pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah,
very entertaining.
That's the people who came up with interesting, clever ways to make use of that time. Like one of my favorite bands, probably my favorite band, they couldn't tour. So they basically did these live broadcasts. So a lot of it was pre-recorded, but with basically performing all their songs in new versions with little skits and things in between. So they just turned it into this whole like, okay, you can tune in live, buy tickets to come and watch this presentation of us kind of redoing a bunch of our songs and things since we can't be out there touring, in arenas and stuff. And it was just a very clever way, and they're awesome alternate versions of their songs. So it's great when they came up with clever uses of their time back then. Other people just kind of were like,
yeah,
hole up in my house and complain.
Exactly. I found that. I see a perp walk video. No, it's a perp walk picture of Don Lemon and the Fed. I think it's AI though.
Bring it up on screen if you can as your fade out. That'd be a historic thing to go out on.
It's from Cat Turd, so you know it's legit.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, it's real because
with a name like
from
Cat Turd, you can't. How can you not trust him?
How can you not trust Cat Turd? I mean, his parents love him enough to give him the name Cat Turd. It means he's trustworthy. Okay, so the Fed has arrested Don Lemon, and clearly this is an actual perp walking picture.
Yes.
Seems legit, even if the individuals have 8 fingers. Forget it. It's not bad AI slob. No way, no how. All right, that's it. We're done. We'll see you in the afternoons on Monday. God bless you.